What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, who is also Corey Borlaug's friend because we follow each other on Twitter, no big deal, along with Sheps, the inverted gamer himself. Sheps, just an ordinary guy, no one special. How you doing, bro?
You really did me dirty with that. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you know, you're right. Corey does follow you. That's a
no
real
big
thing.
deal. He just follows people that he clearly loves. He only follows 699 people. So it's kind of like an exclusive club.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when you want to buy a Ferrari.
Yes.
They don't just let anybody buy a Ferrari.
Yeah.
They're like, let us look over your name.
Yeah.
We'll quickly Google search you.
That is actually a true thing for some of the top spec Ferraris,
Yeah.
and also sometimes I think like their best one, you can't, like, you own it, but they keep it.
That is some grade A bull.
Yeah.
Because no way am I spending, because it's not cheap. They're like, this amazing car, we've made like,
it's like
25 of them in the world. They're like, £2 million. Whenever you want it, we'll drop it off to the
We'll bring
racetrack.
it to the track.
And then when it's done, we'll take it right back.
Yeah.
$2 million. I paid for this thing.
This is it's actually my car.
I bet you. Do you know what I bet they would do? I bet they also charge you a monthly fee to keep it in one of their garages and keep it like maintained and shit like that. It's like, yo, hold on, I didn't ask for you.
I get the impression that those sorts of cars, it's not about owning the car. It's about saying you own the car. It's like a status thing. Yeah, I have this expense. Its job is to be expensive and cost me money.
It's like me and Corey Borlaug being best friends.
Right.
There's no other benefit to our relationship other than me saying that we are best friends.
Right, and that's a huge benefit to Corey as well.
He gets to say,
Me and Ed.
like that. You go, next time he's with Neil Druckmann, you know, that Super Tuber Eddie guy.
Yeah. Chris, no, look, we're going to do the next God of War, but before we do, I just need to get the okay from my main guy, my number one. I need to see if Ed's okay.
Fucking hell, Corey, it's 2 a.m.
Time zones, man. Time zones.
Anyway, bro, how have you been? How have you been keeping? It's been a while since we did this.
Tired.
Oh, tired.
Yeah, that's right. I need to apologise, obviously, for two things. You know, one,
You're a big man for doing this.
I was just a little bit under the weather and feeling, to be honest, lazy, so we didn't do last week's one. And then obviously I broke our camera on purpose. So again, me, all of it on me, on this guy right here.
I'm proud of you. Yeah. So, okay, it takes a big man. To admit to things like that. And
That's right. I just want to also, in that case, 5'6", confirmed big.
James is going to be like, there we go, right there.
I think he's 5'5".
Sorry,
one
James.
under.
Sorry, James. 5'5" is not big. I'm saying it right now. Not big. But you're tired. You're
absolutely
to change
knackered.
things up. You're tired.
Yeah. I thought branding needs a change up.
Right. There you
Tired. Completely shattered.
go.
But freaking love doing these. So
yeah, this is the highlight of my week. Even though we don't get to do it every week, I'm still like looking forward to it. Which is why I felt so shite about fucking up last week.
yeah.
I was really planning to do it. Do you know what it was? So last week, you might have seen from my Twitter, I was invited, I should say. It wasn't a big event or anything like that, so it sounds big when I say invited, but I was actually invited by PlayStation to come down to where they set up one of these like pop-up events of a fake clicker of a gamer on like a chair, and it was to advertise The Last of Us on PS5 now that the show's over, blah, blah, blah. And I was there with a bunch of other content creators, people
I saw them, Spores.
EGX and what Spores were there exactly, cosplaying as aliens, stuff like that. And it was all
They're
good fun.
so good.
But I went from like warm car to like cold outside in the rain to warm inside where we were sitting at a bar, and then back into the car and then back home, and my head just started to develop this splitting headache. Yeah. The worst part is that I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. Yeah. And then an hour and a half later, I was all good. And I was like,
a little bit of me was like,
it's like 8:30 now. I can't exactly call him now.
A little bit of me was like, do you want to try anyway? But in case, it's one of those things where like you get a bit of food in you and whatever, and you'll feel okay because it's a possibility. However, 45 minutes for me to get here, just to do 20 minutes and be like, bro, it's not Like, because we're not going to
you were
record
living
a
around
crap
the
podcast.
Yeah,
you know?
that was the worst part because I was like, I know I'm gonna feel at the beginning as well, like low energy,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna not want to shout like I normally do.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that was
maybe
the
it would have
worst
been a
part.
good podcast then.
Maybe it would have been
Would
like
have been
for
less
fuck's
of you,
sake,
innit?
that would have been perfect. Why are you teasing us with a great thing? But I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
I actually don't remember that ever coming up, but
Finally, my America plans are sorted.
yeah, do you know what? Fuck you, frick you. We're allowed to swear actually now after 8 seconds, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
true,
fine.
yeah,
Get
we
fricked because you know
Whoa.
everything's. Whoa,
Still, don't be so harsh there with the fricks.
it had an asterisk. You know, you get invited to LA. Well, you won the thing. You get invited to the sports. Actually, no joke. I'm actually glad I wasn't invited because I wouldn't have been able to go, and that would have been worse. Do you know what I mean? If they'd be like, "Hey, come down to the thing," I'd be like, "Oh, I can't because I work regular hours now."
Because I'm a corporate.
I'm a corporate
Schmuck.
douchebag. I work a 9 to 5.
He's an actual suit. We know that, guys.
Yeah,
So my America plans are sorted.
yeah.
They called me up and they called for the dates and stuff like that. I was still very in the dark. I didn't know when it was going to be. I didn't know whether or not I could bring anybody with me. I didn't know what the plan was, how long it's for, etc., etc.
I mean, presumably before Fallen Order comes out, or whatever it's called,
hopefully,
Survivor.
right?
Yeah.
And they called me up and they said, "Yo, the 20th of April, we'll fly you out, and then we bring you back on the 24th." So like 3 days,
Yeah,
fourth night, but then overnight because of flights and stuff like that. And I was like, awesome. They were like, okay, so this is gonna be the plan. We bring you out the first day. First day, there's no plans. You get to enjoy, do whatever you want in LA, but it's the day that you land. So how much time have you really got?
Yeah, jet lag and stuff's the thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And they were like, the day after, 10 o'clock in the morning, you're going to go to Respawn Studios, you're going to play the game, you're going to come back at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's all going to be a blast, blah, blah, blah. The next day, we're going to be taking you to Disneyland. And I was like, yo!
I have a child.
I was like, great, this is fantastic. And then they're like, and then you come back afterwards. We're like, oh, awesome, that's so great. And then I go to them, I was like, oh, man. Sorry, in the email it goes, you can bring one other guest with you, and I was like, they're gonna pay for one other person as well.
Sick. When are we going?
I'm just getting a text message.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, bear with me a second.
No, that's cool. Let me just text my chick and tell her. You said it was 24th, yeah? 20th to 24th of April.
I said that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the date of the.
Yeah, I'm just letting her know, babes. I'm gonna be busy from the 20th to the 24th. It's kind of a dream come true. Really, I don't think that's overselling it. All these years of hard work are finally paying off. Patreon's still good, and we're going to be making some amazing content in LA.
Oh no!
So happy. One sec.
no.
Ed's getting a text.
Dude,
Text you back
do you know
in
what?
a minute. Yeah.
Obviously because I immediately thought of you straight away.
Yeah.
The first thing.
Mm-hmm.
I went online and I applied for Estes.
Yeah.
You need an Esther
You need
to
it.
get
It's the
in,
visa wafer. Yeah.
Exactly. They didn't approve you, mate.
They ran out of Esters.
They must have run out just when it came to you.
Just like that's typical, innit? It's like they have 1,000. Your number 1,000. I'm 1,001.
Just
Dang it!
isn't it? Isn't that just a thing? Isn't that just the? I mean,
never mind. Changing plans to crying all week. You gotta go, man, and you gotta take Isla to Disneyland, innit?
That's it. So I told them, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll bring my girlfriend and whatnot. And then I asked them, I was like, can I somehow like add one other person to the thing? And I was like trying to push it as much as person. Like it's just a baby, you know. Surely it's gonna be a tiny. They're like, it does count as a full person.
You have to leave your child.
You have to leave her behind.
Yeah. Just Isla's in the house for 3 days.
They're like, what's she gonna do in America anyway? What do babies do in another country? Come on now.
I mean, she's like a mostly white baby. She's gonna shoot up at a kindergarten or something.
Right?
Who knows? Yeah.
Exactly. If she gets a hand on a gun, she's. No, I said, yeah, sure, you can, but the problem is you do have to pay for her.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, no, but that's all fair. You're paying for 2 people. I'll pay for the one extra person.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, I was like, is there any way for us to
you think you
extend the ticket?
How much does Isla weigh?
11 kilograms.
You're allowed 20 for baggage. I'm just saying.
Just saying. And how much is your cabin luggage allowed to be? I think it's like 20 kg.
It's a volume. It's not weight.
She'll easily fit. She's tiny.
Can we just? We'll get back to LA. However, I have a freaking beef with planes. They're like, oh, anything above 20 kilos is potentially a safety thing, right? There's more than 20 kilos between our body weights. What?
The range is very, very different. There's a lot more.
Why are we paying the same? Where's my discount?
The worst part is where they go, oh, you're allowed 20 kg for your allowance. So like, it goes 1 kilogram over. They're like, oh, no,
safety concerns.
No. But if you pay us.
Yeah.
It's like, hold on a sec.
It could cause the plane to crash.
Before the plane couldn't take off.
But with more money.
If you slip me a 50, then it's all right.
With more money, we could do this. It's like, first of all, also, it's not like they only fill the plane up a certain amount. They're like, we've calculated how much fuel we'll need, and it gets there on us. Puff. No.
We're pushing these things to a ragged edge.
Yeah, like you're filling that bitch up. This isn't helping.
It's just so stupid. So many stupid things to do with there, lads. Yeah, so I said to them, I was like, is there any chance that I could like extend the ticket? Because like you said, the first day, you're going to be shattered.
Yeah, you want to do a week.
Yeah, it's going to be like jet lag and stuff like that. Yeah. So I asked them, they said it doesn't cost anything extra for us, so tell us the days that you want to go and we'll go. And I'm like,
you get 3 months on that Esther. So.
So I was like, sweet. Well, mine doesn't actually says no expiration date for some reason. I don't know what that's all about. But okay. So I was like, sweet, 2 years. No. I said the 17th to the 24th. So I get like a nice week there.
Yeah.
I was like, bless. They're like, yeah, no problem. We'll do that for you. And they set it all up. And they're going to go out. I'm going to go out there. And it's going to be a cracking old time. I'm going to hopefully rent a car when I get out there. Yeah, don't know how that's going to be driving on the other side of the road. That's my first time.
You've driven in Cyprus?
In Cyprus, it's actually on this side.
Oh, they do it like civilized people.
Really dumb because the other side of Cyprus, the Greek side, is on the other side. And in Turkey, it's on the other side. So they just decided, they were like, no, fuck y'all.
I love how stupid every country on the planet is. We're all the stupidest. People are so stupid.
So dumb. Anyway, going out there, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be my first time seeing Galaxy's Edge. Never been to Disneyland, never seen that before. I've already checked out all of the attractions that they have there. It's going to be super cool. I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited.
Yeah,
I bought this super cool gimbal thing for my camera so I can take some really cool video while I'm out there and it'll be all stabilized and
cool.
something like that. And yeah, it's going to be really, really fun.
That'll be very cool.
Yeah. What else is going on with us right now?
How much did the gimbal cost?
My God, I mean,
what was your investment?
If you factor in, how much money I saved on this whole trip,
right,
because I didn't pay for my tickets, the hotel,
true,
Disneyland tickets,
true.
I actually earned money on this. I am plus.
Well, I mean, in that case, you might as well spend that difference.
Exactly.
If you don't spend it, the universe is going to take it away from you. What do you need for the streaming?
That money is now burning in my account.
You need some more RGBs for
it's
the
not enough. It's not
for
enough
the rig. You know?
Oh, but bro, because of that, my life is I've kind of been on a high because of that.
Yeah.
I've been working extra hard so I can raise a little bit more money, so I could do some cool things while I'm out there.
Yeah.
See some places. You know.
What's on your list?
Do you know what the problem is that I've been my idea has changed a couple of times. Our friend Amar, who's meticulous at planning everything.
I'm not that guy.
He has like a spreadsheet and whatnot. He went to America and he did the whole trip from San Francisco down to LA. And when I said to him, I was like, I'm going to LA. I said, can you recommend me? Because I know he's cheap as well. He's always the bottom dollar. That's everything. I said to him, I was like, where did you go to find your hotels or your places to go and stuff like that? Because I want to find the cheapest deals and stuff like that. And he goes, what are you planning to do? Because I did this and I've got a whole spreadsheet. I can give it to you, the plan of our road that we went and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I was just planning to stay in the LA area, but now that I've got a car, I might go up the highway thing that you said, the I-101 or whatever it is, US 101.
It's got a name. It's got a name. It's a very pretty Pacific Highway. Yeah. It's a very pretty drive. I mean, it depends on how manly of a drive you're willing to do because not Carolina. California is really cool.
Yeah?
Like if you go and see the redwood forests, like those are freaking gorgeous. I road tripped like all of the south basically of the states. So Cali's got some cool stuff. I would say the coolest stuff is from like, well, San Diego. Is San Diego above or below LA?
I think San Diego's below.
Yeah, San Diego's cool.
Yeah.
San Fran's okay if you go to the right areas. Otherwise, it's just homeless people.
yeah, I heard that.
And then above that, North California is really cool.
Judging by just the look of the map, I don't know how far up I'll be able to go. I don't think I'll be able to go as far as San Francisco.
Yeah.
I might be able to
It is
go
a
half
manly
the-
drive, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 5-hour drive, something like that, it said. And that's not... I could do the 5-hour drive. It's just that...
You've only got 7 days or
Exactly.
something.
I'm not planning to go there, get a hotel there and come back, which there was an idea at one point for like one day.
Yeah.
But I was
Or-
like, yeah.
Take your cousin's ID,
Ah,
give that for your speeding tickets, and then he'll be the one that gets thrown into jail, and he'll never go to...
and I can go 4,000 miles an hour, whatever I can find.
Yeah, in your Toyota Prius.
I was actually planning on hiring something a bit better. I was scrolling through the list, and obviously,
surely
it
you
starts
got
off-
to do like an Escalade. You got to do something like stupid and American.
it started off as like a Camry or something like something dumb.
That's why I
right?
did it.
Yeah. And then it goes down, and I'm scrolling down. Like, what are these other options?
Mustang,
And it's got
GT.
Ford Mustang convertible, and I'm this close. It's
But
like
then you
an
need to
extra
buy a baby
120
seat.
There is a baby seat option.
Ooh.
It's an extra 60 quid.
Worth
But
it?
it's extra 60 quid whatever car I buy.
To
So that's no
stop your
problem.
kid being killed.
Yeah.
Seems pretty, yeah.
And I'm like, this might be an idea. So you might see me out there
Crashing a Mustang.
crashing a Mustang. That's right. Anyway, that's enough about me and the shit that's going on.
Yeah, it's cool.
Having good fun. Yeah. Hopefully this is going to be cool. I'm counting down the days. I'm just
Yeah.
counting down the days now. That's all I'm doing.
Complete polar opposite, of things that are cool. Our Super Bros over on patreon.com/Conbrosations.
That's right.
Who make everything here happen except for when Ed wins a PC. You didn't have it pulled up, did you?
No, I don't.
Except for when Ed wins an even better streaming rig. So now we've got a double streaming rig, so you can have one to run OBS and one to one to play on. Didn't I see you leave a stream on for like 11 hours or something?
Yes.
What was the deal with that?
So I started a stream,
Yeah.
just chatting, having fun. Everyone was being cool and stuff like that. We found out that Mario likes things in his posterior region. Side note, that's just nothing to do with that. And I
Yeah,
started a
nothing new,
marbles
yeah.
game.
Mm.
And I didn't pick on purpose any of the maps. I just started clicking away at names that sounded cool.
Yeah.
And I got to one of them and it said, the world record for this map is 39 minutes. And I was
Okay.
like, usually these maps are like 2 minutes long. How the fuck is this 39 minutes? And what
Yeah.
it ended up being was an extreme chance map where
Okay.
a ball would go down an area, but there's so many things on the map that would force the ball to come back to the beginning.
Okay. Yeah.
And if by chance you managed to hit the right edge of the map on the right bump on the thing at the right speed and hit the right thing,
Yeah.
then you will go down the right path
Okay.
and advance. And there's multiple sections that it goes through.
Yeah.
And in the hour that I was streaming marbles, so I'd been streaming for 3 hours, then we just started like a marble stream afterwards.
Yeah.
In the hour that I was streaming marbles, we got like nowhere, like absolutely nowhere. And I'm like, this
How?
is gonna be all night. I control
It's
the
an
camera
all-nighter, yeah.
and I go down the rest of the map, and I'm like, this is gonna take forever. We're gonna be here forever. So I was like, I want to see the end of this. So I just set it on one of the characters, one of the marbles, and I went, all right, guys, I'll see you
later. Yeah.
And I went to bed.
Because I came back to Twitter the next day to like a brand new tweet from Ben being like, why is he streaming for 11 hours or something? And also he's not there.
He was like, I think he went out on a night out and he got in at like 4:30 and he's like, how come Eddie is still streaming and does he know? And I just set the camera up to my Superman, Pop Funko
Yeah.
and Spider-Man and stuff like that. It was absolutely hilarious to be in that situation, but and Gams Master actually won it in the end. So
Yeah, I saw.
congratulations to him.
Well done,
Hats off.
Gams Master.
He is now the
Congrats.
forever the people's champion of marbles. That's what he is.
True. Yeah.
I have the names. Okay.
Good. Good.
So, our Super Bros.
Yes.
Who support us over at patreon.com/Conbrosations at the Super Bro tier. Our great Super Bros. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, God, who is that person? Oh, God, I'm going to have to work these. Right, I'm going to have to go off our old list for now and then work it out for the next time. Isak, the Ultimate Comstock. Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sandling. Catspud, the Friendly Patron. Mikey T, the Gamer Giant. Super Suspect Fryer, the Filthy Fanatic. Joe McCormack Clark, the 53rd. My Juicy Left Nut, the Super Sexy Producer Sean. And Gams Master, the Leader of the Empire, the Fearless One, the Great Lord Vader himself. Step cousin, who isn't really important, but you know he likes to be invited to parties and things like that, and takes the photos of people and brings out onion dip, stuff like that. So, bro,
Yes.
big news to be talking about today. Multiple things. We're going to be talking about the possibility of a PlayStation 5 Pro coming next year. We'll be talking about finally some fucking progress in this Activision Blizzard deal with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Release dates for various games like Starfield.
Yeah.
And the big one. Tony... Oh, God, what's his name? Is it Tony Todd? Tony Todd.
Costanza.
Yeah, Tony Todd. Tony Todd, the actor who plays Candyman and who is playing Venom in Spider-Man 2, accidentally might have revealed the release date for Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
So, he's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
Let's give him a break, everyone. No hard
he's not
feelings.
Familiar with interneting.
Exactly. He's just tweeting away. He loves the attention he's getting now. He posted some pictures of him in a facial capture studio and stuff like that, doing some things.
Yeah.
And he let it slip. Someone asked him just very directly, when can we see the game, stuff like that. And he's just like, oh, yeah, they're planning a big blowout of of PR stuff in August. And I think the game releases in September. Yeah. Just straight up just said it.
Damn it.
And then
Damn you.
And then tried to walk back on it, but it was in the way that it's I messed up. I know I messed up.
I've picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies.
He was just like, guys, I'm not allowed to talk on the internet anymore. Anyway, and then he takes a picture of him in a spa or a pool, and his lips are under the water, and he's like, my lips are sealed and stuff like that. That was very funny, yeah. Very adorable. But it looks like it's coming out in September. Hyped as fuck.
Yeah.
Need to see more of this game, because all we've seen so far is a little teaser.
Yeah.
There is a possibility, based on a toy that was found, that Spider-Man Miles Morales in the game is going to be involved in the multiverse, a bit like in Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. Which possibly makes a connection as well to Wolverine. Very and cool. Maybe interconnected something like that. How excited are you for Spider-Man, bro? I
mean, first of all, if it connects to Wolverine, pretty excited.
It'll be interesting, right? How many games have connected like that before? In a story way, not like Fortnite or anything like that.
Not
anything that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, not unless they were actually part of the same series. So I'm sure some of those Nier games, I think they do connect, and I'm sure Bloodborne and stuff has Easter eggs and shit. But
sometimes they say, oh, it's in the same universe, but they never they're not in the same.
And also if they're actually connected games, if you play a cops game and then a robbers game, and then there's a cop from the cop game who is the dirty cop, they're connected games.
Right.
Whereas Spider-Man and Wolverine, yes, they're set in the same universe, but they're not connected games. Yeah. So I can't think of a single one.
I can't either.
It might have happened, but I can't think of it.
Runic Firebird.
And if any of you frickers say Kingdom Hearts, no, bad.
Our boy Runic Firebird, our resident correcting combros expert, will let us know in the comment section. I'm very excited for this, man. I'm interested because Insomniac are fantastic.
Yeah.
And they clearly understand how to make a good Spider-Man game. They've taken a bold step with putting both Miles Morales and Peter Parker Spider-Man in the same game.
Yeah.
When we were pitching constantly that maybe you do tandem, you go back and forth.
Yeah.
and seeing as you guys can shit out games every single year for some reason, you just go back and forth like that, and that'll be cool. But they decided to go for them together, and they're both good enough to be the main guy in both of their games.
Yeah.
So I wonder how they're going to do it.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
very excited to see how that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Now, the most interesting thing, now, because we haven't seen anything, there's not much to talk about. But the most interesting thing is that a week before, Starfield came out and confirmed their release date and an upcoming showcase. They're releasing it in September as well.
Sick.
September 6th.
Sick.
The rumor is that Spider-Man's going to come out September 8th.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was planned. I don't know, because they have industry insiders in both companies, I'm sure. They get information from each other. I don't know if that was planned, but that's like the two titans going up against each other. Well, we don't know anything about Starfield, but we presume it's a titan. And I can't wait to see the bloodbath.
I'm going to be honest, I want it to be good, but I think Starfield is going to be like a Morbius. Sans the fun memes that people made out of it. Like, it's not even going to have that. It's just going to be, oh, why was this made? And then all the Xbox will conveniently forget that, well, of course, it was never expected to go up against The Last of Us. And, they'll just forget that they hyped it up like it was the biggest thing ever.
It's a bit like Halo.
Yeah.
Where everyone was saying Halo has to fuck hard.
Yeah.
Halo has to be the best game ever made. Or Microsoft is done. And then it came out and it wasn't the best thing ever made. And it was like, all right, we'll just forget that. Starfield, guys. Now we're on Starfield.
Right.
And I wonder what's going to happen when Starfield comes out. It's like, Elder Scrolls 6, guys. Elder Scrolls 6. Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. Look,
and then also they'll make Elder Scrolls 6 like exclusive. And then people complain. They'll say, well, you guys have all this other stuff. Like, no. That's not the song you were singing when you thought wrongly that Starfield was going to bang. So,
Anyway, so just to get our temperature on the room in terms of Starfield, you think it's... We've said it before. We don't think it's going to be like...
I want it to be good. I love me some sci-fi. I love Halo. I love Mass Effect. It could be a very, I guess, similar to Mass Effect in that it could be like effectively Fallout in space, one of the good Fallouts in space. That sounds amazing. I think they've done the typical thing. They went a mile wide and an inch deep. The universe is going to be huge. Nothing to do, but it'll be really big. Like, that's not the way to do this. Give me one solar system that's got 8 actual planets, or 3 actual planets to do stuff on. I don't need 100 solar systems with nothing to do, you know?
Do you know what I think his biggest problem is going to be? Well, maybe not his biggest problem, big for me anyway. I think it might have something decent buried in there, right? And it might be something that you have to really work out to get. It's not going to be something that's very much on the surface, so a lot of people might turn off to it.
Yeah.
What I think is, I do think that the technology is not going to be very good. I think it's going to be, especially because from what we've seen, it's going to be like low level of detail. It's going to be like 30 FPS, even though it's supposedly running on the world's most powerful console, etc., etc. And it's going to be such a letdown because...
It's going to be a huge letdown.
I said, everything's being pinned on this game. Now, I am... on the 11th of June, they're going to be doing a showcase dedicated to Starfield around like E3 time. I would be happy to eat my words. I want them to come
amazing,
out. I want them to come out, show them the best fucking trailer ever. A bit like recently at GDC's going on, the Games Developer Conference. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, showed off a tech demo. So it's a tech demo, so it's not going to be the real game. But they showed off like facial animations and how gorgeous that looked. And I was like, yes! I want something to wow me. If Starfield does it, I'll eat my fucking words.
I will say, just to temper that, because we are both sort of excited for Starfield actually being good, the Xbox will be insufferable. If it's actually good, they'll act like they knew it the whole time, there were never any doubts, and like, haha, what have you got? By the way, we still have all the best stuff. Even if Starfield is everything they say it's going to be, it alone is not going to be like the thing. Hopefully it kicks off this new wave of like, well, of course you need an Xbox. Well, actually, Game Pass, because of, Microsoft. But, of course you want that, because you want to be able to play Starfield, and you want to be able to play Land Field and whatever whatever else they come out with, right? And they're gonna make Banjo Kazooie.
Is great.
I know, and like Land,
Horizon One Dawn. What comes after God of War Ragnarok?
Oh, God of War, All the Rocks.
All the rock. Hey, guy. I thought I'd trick him there, but you had it.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love the way your mind works.
Yeah, the Xbox will be insufferable, but at the end of the day, we'll get a good game, so I can suffer through them.
I mean, they're all the Xbots that we're mentioning. They're always unsufferable.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, one of the things I was gonna actually, no, we'll talk about that a bit later.
I just think, on the other hand, if it does come out as good, 2 wins. 1, we get a good game, and 2, they'll be even easier to bait.
Yeah.
Like, Starfield deserves to be on the PS5.
Oh god, I gave my fishing a rest, but the other day Chris tagged me in a tweet,
I saw it,
and I was like, all right, let's get out of the big guns, lads.
I knew that you went and wrote it, and like they all bite.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what happens is the boys will come in and they'll add to it.
Ben, oh my god.
Yeah. He'll add to it, or someone will come in and they'll respond to an Xbox saying, "Well, give us Spider-Man." They'll be like, "That doesn't make sense." Yeah.
Spider-Man deserves to be on PlayStation only, though.
Yeah. And like, no one will see it. None of them will see it, and you're like, you have to have noticed, right? Like,
surely, and they the gore, the cheek. It's like, no, it's clearly sarcasm.
Also, what's hilarious is they go from Xbox is the best to then whining, but you guys have, and then name all the things they don't have. It's like, well, I thought you didn't. I thought you didn't need that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Starfield's coming out. It is going to be a Battle of the Titans. I'm going to be sitting there on the sideline with my popcorn. I know I'm going to be playing Spider-Man first. I do want to try out Starfield.
Yeah.
I'll find a $1 code somewhere and I'll sort that out for myself. Let's move on to one of the bigger topics.
Yeah.
A PS5 Pro could be coming in late 2024. No details have been said about what it will do. I
mean, I think it'll play games.
Let's not. Well, we haven't got confirmation.
I don't want to go.
Talk about putting the cart before the horse.
My predictive powers are immense.
Like the way you predicted
This week's
Hydra.
lottery tickets.
Let me get a pen and paper.
Listen, Hydra's coming. Don't worry. I just predicted it. Like 45 years too soon.
You're waiting for Hydra to really come, like actually.
Yeah, not like that, like this.
The PS5 Pro apparently is coming in late 2024, with a PS6 still coming down the line, and this is going to apparently not change their plans whatsoever of that. They've not said in what way it will be more advanced or anything like that. Right now, people are thinking it's going to be a bit like the PS4 Pro was, just a little bit more powerful, etc. How do you feel about the idea of a PlayStation 5 Pro?
A little bit, because I've deleted like 2 years out of the timeline. I'm like, PlayStation 5's only been out for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually been out for like, 3.5, 4 years?
Yeah, 3 years now, right?
3.5, isn't it?
Oh, God. You see, this is what happens with time when COVID hit.
Yeah, it just destroyed everything. But it's over 2.5, right?
I think it's over 2 years. It launched November 2020. November 2020, yeah. So it has been 3 years.
Yeah.
Coming up to 3 years, I should say.
Coming up to 2.5.
Yeah.
So by the time that comes out, it'll be 3.5.
3. Yeah.
By
then it'll be 4 years.
Yeah. Which is about what we got for the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Which seems reasonable. We think estimate a 7 to 8 year life cycle for the console, so it makes sense. Even though I still firmly believe like my PS5 is not even close to being pushed to its limits.
Yeah.
Like by the time the PS4 Pro came out, I'm like, yeah, it could really use an update. I didn't get one, but it could really use it. My PS5, I'm like, the only time I hear the fan still, and I haven't cleaned it yet, so it's full of dust and stuff, because why would I bother? It doesn't get hot. Is when it turns on and it boots the fans to check that they work.
Yeah.
Is the only time I hear it. Maybe in summer, but like,
we'll see in it.
yeah, we'll see. It's so good. So from that sense, I'm sort of like, I don't think we need it yet because the devs haven't pushed it to its limits. In fact, I'll go as far as to say the only games even close to pushed it at all was Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
And that was just pushing
ray tracing them.
Yeah, that was just pushing the what is it able to do, not what are the limits of what it can do.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need it from like a hardware being maxed out perspective, but it seems reasonable to me. And now that they've fixed the whole, supposedly fixed the supply chain issues, as long as I can get a hold of one, I'm happy for it. You know, like, what about you? Do you think it's?
I don't get it.
Interesting.
I don't get it. I'm the tech guy. I like to buy.
You're Mister.
Crap.
How many PS4 Pros did you go through? Like 4 different ones because you got different collector editions.
I mean,
and
I bought
stuff?
a ton of PlayStations 4s first of all, and then I went to PlayStation 4 Pros, and I must have bought about 3 of those. So I had like 6 or 7 PlayStation 4s in the PlayStation 4 life cycle. So it was like 1 a year. In my mind, it was like, well, the warranty's over. That thing could die any second now.
It's a good point. It's a good point. If you don't spend that money,
exactly,
the universe is going to take it from you anyway.
Which is a weird way to think about it because I wasn't buying it cheap. I was buying it retail. So like, if it had died, I would have to pay retail. So I don't know what I was doing here. Anyway, but it was because of the cool design. That's the reason why I bought it.
I do love that 500 million.
It's gorgeous. But I don't understand the PlayStation 5 Pro. One, because like you said, I don't feel like we've reached the limit of the PlayStation 5.
Not even close.
But to be fair, there's only one thing that I will point out. We're not getting native 4K 60 FPS games.
True.
So that might be where we've hit like maybe there's room for improvement here. Like, I think we're close to it, and maybe that's what a PS5 Pro could do.
Yeah.
If it's like 20% more, I think that 20% more could get us to 60 FPS 4K. But sometimes I'm playing games in performance mode. I don't notice any difference whatsoever. No. I mean, maybe because I've got fucking 4 eyes over here and I don't notice every little detail.
To be honest, the performance mode, fidelity and performance are actually a bit of a con because it just comes down to preference. Yeah. Meaning that it's still so good looking in performance mode that the smoothness evens out the fact that it's not. The fidelity is not as high. And fidelity is so good that it evens out the fact that you don't have the frame rate. And so it just comes down to, do you prefer the frame rate or the visual? But like, they're actually equal. They're just different. It's like £1,000 worth of gold and £1,000 worth of like steel. They're still £1,000. They just do different things, you know? Like, you wouldn't want a kitchen knife made out of gold. Yeah. And you wouldn't want what's something that's made out of steel that you use silver? A car made out of gold. No, wait.
A girder. A beam.
Yeah, you wouldn't want a beam made out of gold. It just wouldn't work, would it? You know, like, so they do different things, but they're worth that amount. They're worth the same thing. So it's a con at the minute. Yeah. What I do want though is a PS5 Pro for it to be like performance, 240 FPS.
Whoa.
You know, at 1440 or something, and then fidelity, 4K at 60 FPS. That's what I want.
Oh, could you imagine if they say fidelity 4K 60 FPS?
Native.
There we go. The other thing that I don't understand is that the PS4 Pro was the first time they ever made like a Pro, right?
Yeah.
There was never anything before. They made Slims before, but it was the same technology, just smaller. Yeah. And they saved a bit of money on manufacturing because like things got a bit smaller and parts got a bit better. When the PS4 came out, it came out at a unique time where like 4K TVs just started to hit the market. Yeah. And everyone started to buy these things and they wanted something that had 4K written on the box and then it went out there. We haven't got anything like that now. There's not 8K TVs running around everywhere. 4K TVs have been out for a long time. So it's not like a brand new thing that you can market. I don't know what the thing is that they're going to do, what the reason is to go for a PS5 Pro. Now, I have been listening to a tech person who has said that they might just do a PS5 Pro anyway because something to do with technical stuff that I don't understand with like making the chips, it will be more beneficial for them to make those chips for the PS5 Pro. Right. And instead of the PS5 ones that they're making now, like they can yield more and it'll be the same cost or something like that.
Oh, I know what this is about.
I don't know what the deal is. But he said that, and I was like, if that's true, what you just said, Mr. Voodoo Magic Man, then that is really interesting, and they might do that. And they can easily put those chips in the normal PS5 and just downclock it in the software or something like that. I was like, well, if you're making all of the effort, then I'll take a PS5 Pro off your hands. Go on then.
Right.
But if you're just doing it because like, oh, give me 10% more power, 20% more power, I really don't think I need it. I really think my PS5 is okay where it is right now. And there's already that report that they're going to be doing the PS5 Pro, PS5 Slim, or PS5 without the disc drive, and then they're going to wipe the disc drive version off of the market, and they're going to sell a disc drive separately. So how many fucking iterations and versions and
also they're coming with all these different versions of products for a PS5. Where's my custom DualSense? Where's my custom covers? Like, that's the service that I want. I don't need the detachable hard drive, yes or no, I don't care.
They came out with 5 colors and they were like, shut up, Sheps. So what you get.
This will do. And also what they did is they came out with 5 colors. They haven't sold incredibly well because it's only 5 colors and they're flat. So then some Japanese say, oh, nobody wants to buy these.
Nobody wants to buy this.
That was said with love, not racism.
I'm going to commit Sudoku now. Watch.
That's it. I'm going to commit Sudoku and then maybe some Monopoly. Like, freaking, of course no one is buying those up. Like, they've sold. But no one's buying them up in droves because they're not. You've got these incredible IPs. Do a God of War one. Or, like, have it laser etched or something. It's not super difficult.
They have all these IPs. They're making TV shows out of them, for fuck's sake. They can't make some fucking covers for the console.
It actually bugs me that it isn't a joke that people are like, they made a game of the TV show, which, by the way, I still haven't even seen the gay episode.
You haven't got...
I'm so far behind.
You're that much of a bigot that you just won't watch it.
That's right. I'm just not watching the whole show.
I heard about it and I just won't go any further, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I play the game with the gay protagonist, but like...
Come on.
I'm not gonna watch a show with
I'll
a
play
gay
multiple
episode.
times. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but not with a gay episode. No.
I prefer my TV like I prefer my whiskey, straight. But my video games, floppy all over the place.
I was just thinking the average age of my whiskey is under 18 years.
No.
So
I'm not a whiskey guy, but I'm pretending I am just to make you feel worse. Oh no.
I'm a whiskey nonce.
You're a whiskey? No. Do you work for the Catholic Church?
Jesus Christ.
We got off topic.
This is not the Conbrosations podcast.
No, it isn't. Let me kick it over to some of our guys who wrote into our Discord server. I asked them very quickly yesterday. I was like, how do you guys feel about PlayStation 5 Pro? You're going to be surprised. Unanimously, no. Remake Getaway says...
How weird is it that I'm Mr. like, yeah, let's get a new one? I'm usually
Mr.
like
positive.
I'm still using my day of release PS4. I mean, I'm using it as like a
heater.
Yeah. It does get a little bit warm, and in winter, where the heating in my flat's not super great, and like it's one of those where you have to put it on manually because the timer doesn't actually work, and I can't be asked to like mess with it. It's
if it's got an on-off switch.
just turn it on and then turn it off when I go to bed, sort of thing. And if I forget, the living room's fine because we'll have watched like 2 or 3 hours of whatever we're watching.
Anime.
I mean, how do you think we got to like 500 plus episodes of One Piece? And then you go to bed and you're like, oh, is it so cold? Oh, I forgot the heating.
Damn it.
That's a real thing that happened.
You have to go to bed chilled.
Oh, yeah. So, it's unusual though, because again, that is a day of release PS4.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, yeah, let's do a PS5 Pro. Why not?
PS5 Pro. Remake the Getaway says no because they haven't fully utilized the standard PS5. BS Bro 2 says I haven't even seen a PS5 in IRL, mate. Gamsmaster 99 says not at all. I don't feel like the current platform has been pushed to the limit like the PS4 was.
True.
This one has so much untapped potential. Esek says no, the standard PS5 still feels like it can stretch its legs quite a lot more.
Yeah.
And the only real improvement I see of the PS5 needing to switch to water cooling, which would let it stretch its legs even further.
Pardon me?
Without having to worry about melting.
What's the budget on this PS5 Pro?
I think you need to... I'm fucking surprised this thing's got liquid metal in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there no maintenance required on that? And like, what's the shelf life on that thing? When you say water, all I'm thinking is, something's going to give. But if they could work out a cool way to do it, then that would be great. BS Pro 1 says, as the ads have only just begun where PS5 is available now nationwide. And then you have to wait a year before the Pro. I have to wait a year before the Pro version comes out. Give it more time. Let people cook. 2024 and 2025 still feels ages away though. Only reason why I'm ready to risk that comment.
Yeah.
Ben says, personally, I won't be buying one. I have to make more sensible decisions. Having enough money for rent.
I need to eat. I need shelter from the elements.
Fucking students, this is what they think about now.
So the guy's taller than clouds. It's not like he's getting rained on.
Exactly.
This freaking guy.
His lower half of his body gets a bit of rainwear through the clouds and more. But I'm not against it by any means. Pushing for a better technology is never a bad thing. Just make games even better. That is a good point. However, they are still going to make the games because they're not going to ditch the PS5 because they made the PS5 Pro. It still has to be made for the lower common denominator.
However, at least it's not being made for PS5 Pro down to PS5. Also, because it's running on the same architecture, so that's fine.
It's a lot more closely, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a 490 versus a 480 graphics card. Not like a fucking 2 generations away.
Yeah, it's like you're in the middle lane versus this fast lane on the motorway.
Yeah.
And like a PS4 or PS3 is like a school zone to doing 20 with speed bumps.
Stopped on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Broken down.
It's not the same thing. So I will say my biggest thing is actually not so much like the difference in tech. It is the fact that somebody said, look, I haven't even seen a PS5 in real life. Apparently they're fixing or have resolved supply chain issues, but the reality is lots and lots of people still want a PS5 and don't have them. So
I think this is based on VG charts, and apparently their stuff is not so reliable when it comes to numbers, etc., stuff like that. But last week, PlayStation sold over 1 million PlayStation 5s around the world. That's insane in a week, bro.
Well, bruv, you know that Xbox is like totally in the game,
Do you want to? Oh, this is so bad.
I do genuinely think we're going to outstrip the PS4 sales, even with the supply chain issues, and probably with a couple years to spare. Apparently,
it's gotten better. Obviously, that slow start because of the bad supply chain issues has given it a bad disadvantage. But it's possible. It's possible. Can I ask you a question?
No.
Oh, that's it. End of this podcast. Let's see you later. Thanks very much.
Have a good one, boys.
PlayStation 6.
Yeah.
We kind of knew what we wanted from the PlayStation 5, and developers knew what they wanted from the PlayStation 5. They wanted an SSD. We want that's the biggest improvement that we can do because we can access information quicker and we can load things better and faster and faster and faster. It's all good. And then PlayStation were like, no problem, we heard you were going to do it. And then they go and put server grade level fucking SSD.
It was pretty amazing, yeah.
It went above and beyond right there. What would the PS6 do? I mean, granted, we're not the guys that make the consoles, and those guys are pretty smart, so they're probably thinking of things. But we've got an SSD in there. We've got great processors that can be made in the future, whatever. Other parts, like graphics cards, also very good. I mean, what else can they do?
Why can't it just be the next?
You think so?
So, just
it doesn't have to be a revolutionary technology.
Yeah.
It could just be super powerful.
Yeah, they could take a leaf out of Xbox's bag and just do nothing.
Because it went so well for them.
Well, what I mean is that, so the last 3 generations we've tried something different, right? PS3 was the shitty language, rough, but at least it had the Blu-ray, so still trade-offs. PS4's getting back to... actually, PS4, I guess you would argue, wasn't changing it up because it was just going back to the way it should have been.
It was going something more standard.
Yeah. PS5's the, I guess, second real big change. But now that we know that we like the PS5 and the way it's doing things in the architecture and that it all works and it's super reliable, why can't it just be the big brother to that? We did that for 4 generations on the trot. If you pretend the PS3 was just more powerful, and because all they really changed was added to Blu-ray and fucked up the language. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the big change is actually with the 5. I think my preference would actually be make it more powerful, of course, keep up with technology and all of that. But actually to put more of their time into the peripherals. I want the DualSense to be even better. and to be utilized more within the games. I want that haptic to improve. Let's get the PSVR 2 with, we talked about the glove.
Oh, yeah.
Or like a glove-esque where it's actually each individual finger has haptic, and like let's get it to that point. Let's get it to a point where it starts mapping things for you. So the whole like ear thing.
Yeah.
You have to send scans in. Surely, instead, you could have it go through a learning phase where like maybe you listen to music and it can measure your something, and it goes, oh, actually, of these 10 preset ear profiles, this person's closer to this.
This one's good to you.
Yeah. Like, why not?
And it could be like those suits that you can rent from like celebrities, and it'll tell you this ear is very close to Tom Cruise. Oh,
Right.
I have close ear to Tom Cruise. That's very much like that.
I'm going to be an ear model. I think, to be honest, Big Brother to the PS5, don't have any problems with it. It doesn't have to change the game. And to be honest, the PS5 so far hasn't actually been used in a change the game way. It just has changed the game potential. Well, it is a game changer, but that hasn't been utilised, except for Ratchet and Clank. Nothing else, as far as I'm aware, can remember, has really actually made use of it.
Spider-Man's been very good, especially when it comes to the frame rate, different frame rate versions.
Do you know what?
And
I just good
ray
movie
tracing and stuff like
soundtracked
that.
it, which is I forgot how, or like Ghost of Tsushima, just how seamless it is, how fast travel is. So, but like, it can just be the bigger, better version of that. Invest in the DualSense.
Yeah.
And make that like really something special. Maybe the DualSense could benefit from being slightly bigger or slightly wider or something, or I don't know, hypothetically having 4 different colours on like maybe the buttons, just so that like visually you would know the difference between the green triangle and the red circle.
See, you had me in the beginning, but nah, fam, no.
or maybe they could go Pokeball orange.
Of course, yes.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do for the PlayStation 6. Maybe you guys can let us know what would be interesting for the PlayStation 6, and also let me know in the comment section. Would you guys like to see a PlayStation 5 Pro, or are you with me, or are you with this fucker over here saying you want a PlayStation 5 Pro? Look, I'm not going to turn it down. In fact, if it came out, I probably would buy it so I could have just that. If it was just extra horsepower, I'd take the extra horsepower. Why not? I just don't know if we. I just don't know if we need it. I don't know if there's a call for it.
Talk about the elephant in the room, which is that these consoles.
Jesus, I know I've gained a little bit.
These consoles come standard with like a frickin' tiddlywinks worth of hard drive space.
Okay, this is the real thing they can upgrade in the Pro. This is what they can really upgrade.
Yeah.
Instead of it coming with that stupid 825
nothing,
gigabytes,
because all the OS and everything on it, you really only get like
600,
500. Yeah, 600. Yeah, it's not a lot.
You need to, yeah.
Especially when a terabyte of usable, writable hard drive space. If it's like, oh, it's got 2 terabytes, but the OS is 1.5 terabytes, like then that's 500 gigs.
Or they do that funny thing because the because the SSD is so fast in it. They also kind of use it as RAM as well. So it's like, well, actually, half of it. We gave you 2 terabytes, but 1 terabyte of it we're actually using for RAM as well.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count if I can't write on it,
bitch.
It's like, here, oh, you want a pen? You want a paper for your kid to draw on? Okay, here's a pad. Here's a pad. But by the way, Isla can't draw on like these 10 pages, just this one. But it is a pad of 10 pages. To write on, but you can't use. No, you can have them, but don't write on them. You're not allowed.
That would be a good thing, especially because now, like the like when the console came out, the SSD was like revolutionary.
It's fantastic.
And as years is going by, look, there's SSDs for PCs that are coming out that are like equally as fast.
Whatever it is.
I think there's one that got announced that's like really fast, even more than the PS5. I mean, it's technology is how it works.
Yeah.
So by the time the Pro comes around, it might be even cheaper to put like a 2 terabytes in there. That'd be something decent.
I will say though, turning it on from rest mode does not need to be faster.
No, I think it does.
Because
I think it does. We just need to. It needs to be on before we press the button.
That's the thing.
It needs to come out. Invent precognitive abilities.
This is the thing. It's going to be a case of like whatever the. What's a Japanese girl's name? Hold on 1 second.
I don't know any Japanese girls.
Yeah, most popular Japanese girl's name. 1 second.
I bet D would be able to tell us. No.
Is Emma apparently?
Emma.
There you go. So
$1,000,000 I would not be able to.
I would never have guessed that. Hannah is a Japanese name as well.
Is it?
Yeah, it means like cherry blossoms, or something
Quite
like
nice,
that.
quite
Yeah.
nice.
You're going to be like, hey, Emma, turn on the PS5. And it's going to go, boop. You know, that's going to be their Siri or Cortana. You know, obviously can't use Cortana. Can't use Siri. Or maybe you link your PS5 to, hey, Siri, turn on the PS5. Boom, on. It's actually inconvenient how fast it turns on because it interrupts me sitting down.
You don't even get to do your...
I'm interrupted. I'm sitting down to relax and I'm going beep.
I tell you what they need to do. All right.
They need to make a slow mode.
Come in close. Yeah. What they really need to do is work out a way to start the PlayStation 5 without that fucking perfectly tuned beep that wakes your girlfriend up from whatever sleep she's in.
Summons the wrath of the angry girlfriend who you're not spending time with.
Why is it that PlayStation
Piercing
did studies?
It's a rape whistle
to find to find out. Sweet. Next title: PlayStation invents rape whistle, installs in PS5.
that would save lives.
Why is it that PlayStation have invented the perfect tone that alerts every girlfriend to your activities?
It's really frustrating, isn't it?
Fucking hell, you need to get rid of that.
What I would rather is that, you know, that PS1 bling.
Yeah.
You know, that, because it's like low, it's not going to wake her up. And two, I got it. Get rid of the beep. Crazy idea. That light stays blue.
First of all, you're already thinking about things way beyond the capacity of Sony.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look,
It's impossible
I believe in innovation. I think one day Sony will be able to master keeping an LED blue.
No. I couldn't imagine a world.
I believe in their ingenuity, man. And if they don't, we're dropping the bombs again. You got it once.
Why do you guys listen to this podcast? We just, or is this it? Is this it? You're like, you know what? I have my gaming podcast, and then I have Conbrosations. There's some gaming in there, but really, it's all about the borderline racial jokes.
Yeah, the borderline racist Japanese accents.
Yeah, exactly.
Defining, you know, whiskey nonsense and rape whistles is what I'm here for. And that's before you get to the Conversations podcast.
Exactly. Anyway, I'm apparently Mark Cerny's working on the PlayStation 6, so in Cerny we trust. And whatever he comes up with is going to be fantastic, I'm sure. Okay. Our next topic. So this one is changed just today.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with the thing that happened today. The CMA, the UK Competitions Market Authority, who are investigating and putting their input into the Activision Blizzard deal and whether or not it should go through, etc. Granted, it still has to go through in America and things like that, but the UK one provisionally have ruled that they haven't found, they don't believe that there's enough substantial evidence to support the claim that there will be lessening of competition should Microsoft buy the Activision Blizzard, but if they should merge, which means that one of the hurdles, the biggest hurdle some might say, has been overcome by Microsoft. The time is finally coming. It looks like the end of this is nearly freaking here, and we don't have to hear about this bullshit any longer, and we can just get on with gaming and do the things that gamers are supposed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, so annoying. But that looks like it's happening. So if you're looking forward to that, if you're not looking forward to that, or if you're just looking forward for it all to end, congratulations. That's what's happening right there. However, I will say, 2 days ago, something kind of bad happened to Phil Spencer. He got caught out on another lie.
What, Phil Spencer lying?
I know. Unfortunately, it's like a ditch. He just keeps falling in one.
Did he get caught in a lie, or did he get caught in like a where like one media trained statement overlapped, but the wrong way? Because we consider him a liar, but actually, technically, he hasn't legally lied.
That's what it is. It's a technicality type.
But this
is the closest we're going to get.
Let me rephrase this.
Go ahead.
In a normal human interaction, this man lies to his freaking teeth. You would describe this man, and this guy lies more than anyone else I've ever met. Legally, when the best lawyers in the world say, actually, this is the definition, this is what he said, this is what it would have to be to constitute, an improper statement, legally, he hasn't lied or missold.
That's exactly what it is.
But man's a liar. Yeah.
But man's a liar. So when the FTC started to investigate, Microsoft set up all of these interviews, these puff pieces to get themselves looking like they're angels, and they never did anything wrong ever, and they're never going to do anything wrong, etc. Just so they can get this deal to pass. They signed a 10-year deal to bring games to Nintendo, even though Nintendo doesn't give a fuck about their games.
Why would they?
They signed a 10-year deal to bring games to Steam, even though Microsoft have no reason to ever take anything away from PC anyway.
Yeah, and also Steam only they want to play as like Valorant and
exactly.
CS:GO.
And the new CS Counter-Strike 2 just come out. Oh my
Watch
God.
it just flop and people go back to CS 1.6 or something.
It's all about back to CS:GO, guys. And stuff like that. They signed 10-year deals with a cloud company that has I think it's less than 1,000 customers or something like that. Things that just are inconsequential, right? But just so they can prove their point to make themselves look good. He did one interview where he said... Where did he say... Microsoft 10 years... Sorry, I wrote this down and I've completely fucking lost it. I don't know how that's been completely lost now.
Oh, God.
Where did I put this? I'm so sorry. I'm fucking this up. 3 weeks ago... Oh, yeah, so 3 weeks ago in an interview, so 3 weeks from today, he did an interview with a YouTube channel called Xbox On, which was obviously like a puff piece to set themselves up to make them look good. And it was all about the Activision Blizzard deal and exclusivity and what's going to happen to Call of Duty. And the host, she asked the question, she's like, some people are really worried, what's going to happen with Call of Duty? Is it suddenly going to turn exclusive? And what's going to happen there? A clearly set up question for Phil Spencer to puff himself up and say what's going on.
These all happen organically. What are you talking about?
And he gave the quote, there is no example in Bethesda, because she said in Bethesda games and whatnot. Goes, there is no example in Bethesda of us pulling something away from PlayStation. No example, he said. Cut to today, where we get a report from preview events where IGN apparently spoke to game director of Redfall, coming out soon, who confirmed that Redfall was in development for all platforms, including the PlayStation 5, and the day that Microsoft took over Bethesda in 2021, Phil Spencer came in and cancelled the PlayStation 5 version.
Yeah.
And he was quoted on the record for saying that. This is his actual quote. We were bought by Microsoft and it was a change with a capital C. They arrived and said, no PlayStation, we focus on Xbox, PC and Game Pass.
There definitely was a capital C.
Yes, a very different word right there. Now, prior to the news coming out today of the CMA thing of it looking good now that it's going to go through, I wanted to say, if this deal doesn't go through now, all you Xbox out there, toxic Xbox that just keep going around saying, oh, PlayStation is crying about this. They may be crying, but if it doesn't go through, it's fully Phil Spencer's fault.
Yeah.
If he hadn't come out and said all this other nonsense, it's just business as usual. We don't care that you've made a game exclusive. That's your right. You've purchased this game.
Yeah.
But when you come out and you act I haven't done anything wrong after you shot the guy. It's like that meme, isn't it? Where the guy shoots the guy in the chair and he's like,
why did PlayStation do this?
Why is Sony doing this to us? It's no, you are doing everything to yourself. Now, it still has to go through in the FTC. Now, if FTC, I don't know why they would be more stringent, but if they choose to be, then again, it will only be Phil Spencer's fault, who says one thing over here. It's we've never done anything.
And we would never.
And it's funny because he specifically mentions Bethesda.
Yeah, there's no example in Bethesda.
The Bethesda game director comes out and goes, yeah, they cancelled the PlayStation 5 version. Yeah.
Except, what he actually said was, effectively, you can't show me an example in Bethesda that's in common knowledge.
That's exactly what he's saying. It was never announced, so technically...
Yeah.
Technically...
Yeah, we didn't cancel anything. We never greenlit it.
Exactly.
We were going to greenlight it, but we didn't. And so there was no change. So we've never taken it away because it was never officially started in the first place. And also, if my timeline's correct, that interview happened before this guy's comments. So at the time, you couldn't show an example, and now you could show an example, but it doesn't legally count as an example. The man's a snake.
Yeah.
Like, the snake, yeah.
Do you want to hear something funny as well? There's a UK. Could you imagine Phil Spencer when he saw that quote? You just imagine him just like. Because it's not. Phil Spencer isn't a dumb person.
No, not at all.
What he does is intellectual dishonesty. He's intellectual, but he's dishonest. But he's doing it to further his cause. And we understand what he's doing. We get it.
Yeah.
He's a very smart person. So when he sees shit like this, he's like, I'm out here making myself like a fucking arse so we can get this thing through.
Yeah.
And then you're coming out here telling people the truth. Shut up, motherfucker. You're making me look like a dickhead.
Yeah. Yeah. What he is doing is trying to cover for other people, for Xbox as a whole, by lying in a way that he can't get himself in trouble, and then obviously all the stuff comes out. And this is the problem: is it will always come out this way because he's being dishonest.
Yeah.
Now, he may not be lying, however you want to define that, but when you say stuff that isn't based on the truth or mostly the truth. It's going to unravel eventually, and his stuff isn't mostly true, it's technically true, which is different to mostly true.
Yes.
Mostly true is you said a thing that was accurate but maybe didn't present it properly, right? And also the way around that is you go, I'm so sorry, I meant this, but I'm sorry I didn't make that clear.
Yeah.
What he's doing is making something that's technically true, and which is effectively lying, but so that he can't get arrested because his comments do affect share prices and things like that. Like, when you're at Phil Spencer's level, anything you say is effectively market moving for your business, so he has to be careful, but he's also technically not lying versus,
Actually,
like...
There was one other thing that came out as well just around this, because there's so much nonsense that they spew at the same time to try and get any point across. Microsoft said in their like legal battles and stuff like that, Microsoft has said that 10 years, because referencing the deal that they're offering Sony for Call of Duty, saying that it will always be on your platform, there'll be parity, etc., etc. Microsoft said that 10 years is long enough for Sony to develop rival offerings to the Call of Duty franchise should Xbox acquire Activision's shooter series. Really odd phrasing there, because prior to this, the whole idea was that we're never going to make Call of Duty exclusive.
Of course we won't.
So that was what PlayStation's stance was. It was like, so why do we need a 10-year deal?
Right.
And they didn't sign it, and then it went on, and they're saying, we're offering you a 10-year deal.
By the way, very
why
good
don't you take
move
it?
by Sony, because now this investigation can happen.
Right. If they took it, then it's them accepting the stats.
You accepted a deal,
and then the CMA like, well, you've accepted, they've accepted it, so we're going through. But this statement's like, well, 10 years is long enough for you to make a rival, and then when we do make it exclusive, then you've got your right. That's what this is implying. You don't like
Twitter? Just make your own Twitter. Like, no.
And what's funny in that statement is that, okay, if 10 years is plenty enough time, why haven't you done it?
Just develop your own EA.
Why haven't you done it, Microsoft?
Yeah, you've got more money than EA.
Right.
Make a COD.
And you've had a shooter for the longest time. Why hasn't Halo been bigger than Call of Duty?
I'd actually argue they've had the shooter.
Exactly.
Because straight up, there were 3 shooters overall, right? Halo, Battlefield, COD.
Yeah.
COD was shit until 2007, which is Halo 3.
Yeah.
And the only really good Battlefield before that was Battlefield 1942. And that's old.
I liked a bit of 3.
3's way newer than 1942.
Is it?
Yeah, 1942 came out in like 2003 or something.
Yeah.
Way older, right? So realistically, the big shooter is Halo.
Yeah.
That's the shooter. You've got the shooter. You've got the COD competitor. It's right there.
And even you, with the shooter, still couldn't compete with Call of Duty.
Unlimited funds.
And what's really funny is to me is that
Also, ironically, Halo 3 and COD basically did compete. The reason COD won out was because it went everywhere.
yeah.
So,
What's really funny to me though with that statement though is that like Sony already bring numerous IPs to the gaming table.
yeah.
God of War, Last of Us, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima, Returnal, all of these big games, right?
Hold on a minute. Wasn't one of their big defenses that, well, you guys have all these other games that you've made? Well, you got the funds, make your own.
That's what
Hold
I'm
on a
saying.
minute.
You're spending $70 billion. Use that to make your rival. Anyway,
10 years is long enough.
PlayStation
Sorry.
bring already all these other numerous IPs like God of War's, Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, etc., etc., etc. Yet the burden is on Sony to bring the rival to Call of Duty, the ones that have the less money to work with, versus the $1 trillion company with unlimited resources. The burden is on Sony to bring yet another great IP to the gaming table, whereas they have no other choice but to buy something. They have no other choice but to buy it.
Is it me, or does this genuinely feel like it might be racial?
How do you mean? I want to see. I want to hear this.
Like, why is it only? Well, I mean, no, because Nintendo. But like I was thinking, oh well, Sony's Japanese and everything else is Western, and only Sony is being asked to do this stuff. No one's asking. I mean, Nintendo kind of disproves that point, but like,
I'll tell you something that kind of relates to that.
go on.
There was a recent statement that came out. It was a senator, I think, Maria Cantwell, something like that. She came out on record saying it's like, oh, the financial people in Japan pay no attention to the monopoly that Sony has in Japan. We have a tiny presence. So Xbox has a tiny presence over there in Japan.
Yeah.
And PlayStation is 98% has 98% of the market share over there. I was like, first of all, Nintendo is a massive,
Nintendo's huge,
bigger than PlayStation over in Japan.
Also,
so
your own propaganda, you told us that you outsold the PlayStation in Japan. I mean,
exactly.
What are you talking about?
Well, this is a senator, right? So it's actually not Microsoft.
Oh, I see,
but you're like, why are you suddenly defending them? And then I happened to search her name, and you can search because she's a senator. So you can publicly check where her funding's primarily coming from.
Oh yeah.
Her top contributor at $500,000 coming in for this, I think, this term is from Microsoft. So
Interesting
how she would rise to the defense and make a baseless claim that like another country.
I'm just gonna tell you, Toyota sells better than Land Rover in Japan as well.
God damn it!
You got a monopoly.
God damn it!
Fuck off.
It's like we sell more BMWs or German cars over here. Oh no.
I really do feel like anytime someone makes a comment like that, if they're a senator, that their comment must come with a Senator Maria, whatever, whose top donor is Microsoft at $500,000, said.
This is the thing. If we have like a sponsorship, if we ever have a sponsorship with that, we had one before, we'd say like, okay, we're sponsored by this.
Yeah.
Like for example, when I go to America and I go to play Jedi Survivor and I come back, I'm like, look. Full disclosure, I was paid to come all the way to fucking America.
Bought off to have a great experience.
And I had a fantastic experience. This thing is glowing in my memory.
Yeah.
It may affect my judgment of the game, but I'm going to tell you how it is and try and be as objective possible.
And I'm still going to have a cracked version that I won't be able to walk anywhere. You know, like, yeah.
But these senators are like, cool, I'll accept $500,000 from you. Man, Microsoft is getting done dirty, guys. And this is just my personal feelings, and I have no disclosure of any kind to give you right now.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It's so crazy. Bad. It's so bad.
Also, it's like, so you mentioned the sponsor. We were sponsored.
Yeah.
We used the product for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't used it before you had. And before we did it, we used the product and then decided, I was actually really impressed. This is a good product. I like this. We can use it. We'll do it. If it had been crap, send it back. We'll pay for the things you sent us if we have to. Yeah. Sorry, not going to put our names to that. And then we were shameless about it.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't we be? We were boasting about it. Like, it's stupid. I really hate it. Gotta get the money out of politics. And not just in America, here as well. Like, get the money out of politics.
Politicians just full stop. They're all just awful.
They are. And they're all like insider trading and like, it's just...
So bad.
They suck so much. I freaking hate politicians.
Microsoft did they made an admission as well. I wish maybe I can find it. It's not important. It was basically an admission that like US politics is based on whoever you donate to.
Yeah.
And they paused a bunch of donations. They said, we've paused a bunch of donations because people in the Senate were not playing ball. And I'm like...
No, wait a minute.
You're saying you bribe people, and you're saying you're not going to bribe people unless they do what you say.
That's bribery. They're not playing ball. Is that an actual quote?
Let me see if I can find it so I can get the right thing for you.
No, that is 100% bribery, what you're... and again, maybe not legally. Maybe not exactly because you donated to a cause, not to an individual person, and blah, blah, blah. It's bribery. It's bribery. Like, for example, did you know this? You know, in America...
I've got it. Do you want me to read it out?
Yeah.
It says that Microsoft President Brad Smith candidly confesses politics are pay to play in response to criticism over the company's donations to lawmakers who objected to US election results. And it says down here, Microsoft President Brad Smith defended the company's political contributions. Microsoft paused donations amid criticism of its gifts to the GOP lawmakers. Yeah, right. Who objected to the election results. That's not... Yeah, they're supposed to be gifts. Just like that. If you're genuinely doing gifts. Yeah. But it's clearly they want something in return. If you're not going to give us that, then we're not going to give you the money.
If you give someone something for something in return, that is payment for service.
Brad Smith said that donations are vital for getting invited to events so Microsoft can lobby lawmakers.
Yeah, I mean...
This is just legal speak for we like to bribe people.
We paid it off so we could get it the way we wanted it. So, like, in America, you know, their tax system's ridiculous. So, like, even if you're an employee, you still have to file your own taxes, for example, stuff like that. And so they have things like QuickBooks, which is an American company. QuickBooks donated a bunch to the Senate, whoever makes laws, to keep the tax code complicated so that people have to use QuickBooks. Because they were going to be like, the tax system doesn't need to be that complicated. It can be very easy. HMRC makes it so easy to pay your taxes. Yeah. I mean, you maybe don't do everything as efficiently as possible, but just making sure you're not like, you know, if you make £30,000, you go, okay, made £30,000, have a car, this is what it costs. Yeah. Have these expenses, this is what it costs. It's surprisingly simple.
Yeah.
Theirs way more complicated. And they were like, yeah, it doesn't have to be. Why is it this complicated? We're going to make it not complicated. And then QuickBooks were like, we're going to give you loads of money to not do that. So that people have to use our product. Like, you are awful people. That is living hypocrisy.
Yeah.
You know, you, like...
It's why I don't understand, honestly, why some people can even get involved in politics in any way. I'm just like, it's just so... Everything's so wrong. There's no way I can start a conversation because there's just so much wrong in the beginning. Yeah. How does it... You're like, yeah, but did you hear what so-and-so said? Who cares? They're all idiots. They're
all idiots and liars.
Exactly.
And bought off. What? And they will flip-flop the minute... One guy will be like, vaccines are awful. Guy. Suddenly a $2 million donation from Pfizer. Vaccines are super important.
Guys, we need them. Guys.
You know? Like
all kinds of dumb things.
Yeah, they'll be like, if man was supposed to have vaccines, God would have given him vaccines. And then $2 million later, Pfizer's doing the Lord's work.
You know what? The Lord's work right there. And gets all those people...
God told me that he wants people to take XYZ product.
Microsoft have let another thing slip.
Oh, yeah?
In a legal document, arguing with the FTC and stuff like that, they have let slip that PlayStation apparently have a Superman game in development. I'll read exactly what the excerpt says right here.
Okay.
In Microsoft's ordinary course of assessment of the impact of exclusivity, fantastic read, you should all read it tonight. The figure shows that the impact of PlayStation's exclusivity releases on Xbox console sales is, and it's got a little bit redacted right there. This applies to the big titles, and it's got in quotations for some reason, I don't know where, like God of War, it's a big title, or Superman.
Do you think maybe they meant Spider-Man? Yes, they just
100% they meant Spider-Man and they wrote Superman there. But the problem is that they don't clarify and they don't correct. So you're just like, Superman, was this a mistake or do you know something?
Do you know what Sony should do? Because Sony do not have and have not announced a Superman game, they should sue them for revealing their plans.
Trade secrets.
Wouldn't that be good? Sue them for, I don't know, $70 billion?
That would be good.
Sue them for
Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
Now we have Call of Duty. It's like,
Look,
no.
Xbox, 10 years is long enough for you to develop
We'll
a
give you guys a
competitor.
10-year deal.
That would be so delicious. I could die happy.
Yeah, just for the sake of the lulz. Just for the lulz, I would love that.
Also, because then Xbox would be like, well, 10 years, like the main competitor. Watch them flip immediately like what we're talking about.
Straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, as I said, I think this is Spider-Man, what they meant there, but they wrote Superman. But as I said, because this is like a legal document between lawyers, it's not something you can ask them for clarification. And it's not like you're going to go up to Phil Spencer. It's like, did you guys actually mean Superman or what did you mean? We just have to be like, so I guess a Superman game is coming? Question mark?
Or are we saying that Xbox does things in error sometimes?
You know, sometimes they don't get things spot on, like they haven't done for the past decade. Anyway, that was just a little thing I wanted to bring up there because I thought that was kind of funny. The next thing. Here's a big one. Huge news. Zack Snyder.
Yes, I'm familiar with the name.
He has crossed over into gaming.
Okay.
He has revealed very minor details. Apparently, he's involved somehow in a Rebel Moon RPG.
I feel like you really need Rebel Moon to come out first.
This is the thing I was saying. So we was talking about in our group chat, like with the guys in the like Discord and stuff like that, and people were like, some people were coming out with outrageous claims that I didn't find any sources to, so I don't know what it was. They were like, "Oh, Zack Snyder's not even writing it," and I'm like, "So what is Zack Snyder talking about then?" I mean, he's the only thing he can do is direct and write. So like, what's he even involved in then if it's not? And if anything, he's written the original lore for the movie, so it must be involved somehow. And then they go, "Oh, it's a mobile game," but I saw no evidence of that either. But then I was like, I'm not invested because I don't have the movie yet. If I don't have the movie, then why can I can't get invested in a video game for something yet? So I'm just stuck here not knowing anything yet.
I feel like this is very much a case of like obviously it was planned beforehand, you know,
Perhaps.
or likely, because you're not going to okay a game based on a movie that hasn't come out and we have no idea on the success of it, you know. It's like
I can't imagine the situation. Like, it'd have to be ridiculous. Like,
I can't think of an example, but it's like, you know, where someone says, we have no plans to do this thing, then this thing that would take years to put into practice, we're going to do it, and we're halfway through. Like, you. And
he, in the interview where he teased it, he was like, I don't know how much of this I can say, but we're kind of making an RPG game of Rebel Moon. It's like, I can't say any more about it. That's what he said. And then he goes, if we're gonna do it, we can do it like this, and it's good, and it's stuff like that. Or we can go really big with it and do this. And he was like, well, obviously, I want to do the really big thing. I want to do that.
Right.
And that's all he said. And then he left there, and I was like, sounds really ambitious. From the word big.
Right. This is the thing. It's like,
But I don't know what else to say.
You didn't say anything.
There's nothing there.
Also,
I don't even know Rebel Moon. Like, if it was to go Warhammer, we know Warhammer. We can base it off of something.
Oh, if you want to go big, we could be talking galaxy wide, you know.
But we're talking about something that has yet to be defined.
Well, in fairness, we know it's got a 2-word title, Rebel Moon.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We know there are pictures. They've made things.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 15, 20 even high res pictures, and like 30 more low res.
And there's like like clips as well from like little bits of a trailer, like a teaser.
Yeah.
It's great.
So
sold
draw
on the
conclusions, boys.
Sold on the game, guys. All right, bring it out.
In fairness,
Gotti.
in fairness, if you consider that as promo material, we've got about the same as we do for Starfield. So, you know, but it sans shitty gameplay. So, you know, actually things are looking better for Rebel Moon than they are for...
I was like, look, if it's... I mean, I like Zack Snyder's work, So if he's involved in like the writing or directing part of it, then I'll be very happy. But games are very, very much more complex than movies. So
Yeah.
and I don't know if his skills can translate. So this is a very weird area to be in.
Do you know what's funny as well? Talking about like, his skills as a director translating. Kratos, frickin' Christopher Judge. I saw a tweet from him recently where someone was like, filming like gameplays, that's way easier than stuff. And Christopher Judge, who, if you don't know, did like 10 seasons of Stargate, which filmed inside, outside, all over the world.
And he was in The Dark Knight Rises for a moment where he threw a grenade down a manhole.
Yes, he did. Even more important. Man's literally been in Batman.
Even more, which is the pinnacle of movies.
True. And he was like, I've done a lot of filming, and what we did for God of War, hardest thing we've ever done, because it's all one take. Like, you have to get it right. It's one take. There's no we'll fix it in post. There's no we'll add this in and we'll fix this in the assets. If it's not right, you're reshooting.
Yeah.
Like, it's all got to go right all at the same time. And he's like, I've shot outside, because the guy's argument was like, well, they're filming it in the studio, so like everything's controlled. It's like, I mean, half of Stargate episodes are filmed in a forest somewhere, right? Like, I've shot outside. Like, you wait for good weather, everything's set up and protected, and then you film when you're ready, right? Like, you can control a lot of that. And if it really is like a storm blows in that you weren't expecting, you scrap the shoot and you come back when it's not raining. Like, I mean, I'm adding stuff. My brother has worked in TV and stuff. Like, you do control a lot of it.
The way you just dismissed it there, was like, it's way easier. It's just like
it's way easier. No,
it's a bit of computers and
it's
then
freaking
that's
one take. What are you talking about? It's one take. God damn it.
Anyway, that's a Rebel Moon RPG coming. Everyone get excited.
Yeah, buddy.
Here we go. Good news here. Good news. Ubisoft has unveiled a new AI tool that aims to support script writers by generating first drafts of NPC dialogue. Because Ubisoft...
Well, maybe now they'll have some personable dialogue.
I was going to say, maybe it might have a bit more soul in it now. Because not before, they sounded like they were being written by an AI script.
I'm going to say, waste of money, should have used chat, whatever it's called.
GBT, whatever.
Save yourself some money, because it was made to write by your crappy writers.
Yeah.
You fed it shit. You're going to get shit out at the end. Like, also, maybe you just hire some talented people.
Maybe.
Who aren't sex pests. I know you maybe don't have the budget.
First, like, hello, Sheps. Thank you very much for coming into the meeting.
Nice
How's it going? Right there. So take a seat. So, are you a sex pest?
Actually, I did 5 years in prison for,
Sorry about that. We're going to have to just... that's gonna be the end of the...
Can I get the manager's position? For
sorry. I thought this was a lower level position. Yes, our managers are all
That's
sex
correct.
pest.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you very much.
It's like, that's why they're so profitable.
Exactly.
Because they're taking ex-cons who all went away for inappropriate...
Half the price.
Half price.
The
for legal reasons, that's a joke.
For legal reasons, yes, that was a joke. The last thing. Okay, so Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
Yeah.
The last time it was showed, I felt like it was okay. I didn't like I didn't like some of the parts to it, like some of like the numbers and the battle pass system stuff like that, but I wasn't paying too much attention to that. What I was mainly paying attention to was the Justice League part of it.
Yeah.
When I saw Wonder Woman come on there and she was fighting Barry Allen and trying to protect these guys, trying to be Wonder Woman basically.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the story I'm here for. I'm looking forward to that. But a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people were like, oh, this looks too live servicey. Rocksteady have fallen from grace. Gotham Knights flopped and this is going to flop. What the hell's happening to all of our like DC games that were great?
Yeah.
Return to Batman Arkham, all this sort of stuff like that. And I was like, all right, maybe I'm just different, whatever it might be.
Just built different.
It just built differently, And then Jason Schreier came out with a report saying that apparently Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is going to be delayed by like 6 months.
Okay.
I don't know what they can do in 6 months. It's not like they can be like, cool, we're pulling all the live service elements from it. It's like baked into the core of the game now.
Yeah.
6 months isn't really enough time for that. But crucially, here's the interesting part. Everyone made commentary on it. Everyone went, oh, this is happening. Though everyone hated it, so they're changing it. But no official word from Rocksteady. And this has been like 2 weeks now that this information has come out. You'd think that this was like... Usually they get these leaks like right before they happen. Right. And then they come out and then they say it. Officially, it's still coming out in May. That's like 2 months away.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
I don't know what's happening. So, how did you see the last trailer from it? It was like a state of play.
I did.
Like that.
So I've kept up with obviously updates because Justice League, Batman, etc. And I'll be honest, there are a lot of things that I didn't like the live service hints and basically, talking of things I don't like, our true gamers over on patreon.com/Conbrosations.
That's right.
Who we definitely haven't forgotten up to this point, and evidenced by the fact that this bit is still going. We're fully prepped, coming in right as we speak about something that we did like. Justice League. We like Justice League, and so our true gamers, patreon.com/Conbrosations, $5 tier.
Those people are Adam the high quality potato, Gams Master, Sheps' crusty right nut, Isak Manny, Mikey T, Sab2557, Joe McCormack, Gerald Tucker, Fishy, Jim Heim, Adam Sunling, Max H, Alpha Aquilele, and Cobra SS. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on the gaming going here at the True Gaming Podcast.
Gaming. We definitely didn't forget you.
No, totally not.
So I kept up with the updates.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I actually didn't... I've seen clips of the most recent footage, but I didn't check it out because I was like, well, it's live service, I'm not interested. And like I said, it's baked in, so I'm not interested. Then again, in fairness... The microtransaction stuff, which I guess arguably would have made Battlefront 2 live service, sort of. I loved Battlefront 2. And I also felt by the end of it that now that it wasn't like punishing you for not buying stuff, that they should have added microtransactions back in, and we'd probably still be playing Battlefront 2.
It'd have funded it, and it funded some development of it.
Right. So...
Upkeep.
If it's done right, which again, in fairness, Battlefront 2 was not done right and had to do it live, 8 months of being gutted and getting it back on track. But if done properly, I don't necessarily hate the live service.
That's what I was going to say. People jump to the conclusion that, oh, it's all terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it. I understand that, like, it's popular now to hate things. And it's popular to hate things that can be bad, so people jump to the conclusion so they can get their first 5 seconds of complaining out and whatnot and say they were there first, blah blah blah. But how about we see the game?
Right.
How about we see it? Like, there's always the chance, like we say, even like we said with Starfield, I don't like the look of it, but there's always the chance that it surprises us.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm more optimistic about this because it's DC and DC's true to my heart, perhaps, but let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see. If it's not, hey, it's another miss. It's another miss. We're used to that. It's the hello darkness, my old friend. It's just going to be that all over again,
Yeah.
Anyway. And bro, that's pretty much everything we got to talk about. I mean,
yeah, buddy.
The only other things were that like I don't know if this was a big thing, but Last of Us Part 1's coming to PC and it has DualSense support, which is quite cool, I think.
That is cool.
For the PC, it's quite something. It means that...
That's like, to be clear, the new Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's known that when you say Last of Us Part 1, you mean the 2019 Last of Us Part 1. No, wait, 2021. Wherever it was, whenever it came
2022?
out. Whenever, recently.
Yeah, recently.
I forget what year we're in.
Was it this year?
No. But like, I think when you say The Last of Us Part 1, to gamers, that means the most recent iteration, up to date.
September 2022.
But The Last of Us Part 1 is effectively the 2013 game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good for them. I feel like that is... Is it a new game? Here's a question for you. Is The Last of Us Part 1 a new game?
No. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Yeah, me neither. So,
but it's great to revisit a great game.
So yeah, I think it's okay that it goes to. It's good that it's gone to PC.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I mean, at least it got something good to play.
Yeah.
It's not like anything on Game Pass is worth playing.
Nah.
So-
And then CS:GO. I mean, now they've got CS2.
Ooh, good for them.
Let's kick it over to our boys over in Discord server. You can write in if you want to join us. Click the link in the description to go to our Discord server, and you can join us in the conversation. And then write in every week when we pop up the thread. BS Bro 2 says, I'm currently going for the platinum in Death Stranding, and then Metal Gear Solid 5 after that. And I realised after rewatching the trailer for the sequel that Fragile Skin is back to normal and not old. I wonder if the chiral network is like the cure for Timefall, and many things so. And Lou seems to die in the trailer and becomes a BB. So that's gonna mess up with Eddie even more. It really is. I'm gonna cry. I can't have babies dying anymore. It's not a thing. Also, I'm likely going to be playing the game while you read this, and while I watch this. While you read this, and while I watch this, so wish me good luck on the path. Witcher 3 reference. Good luck, bro. Hope you don't get eaten up by BTs and pulled into some next tar thing, whatever the hell you're in. Also, do you guys think that the game has some issues? Since after playing it for long hours without stopping the game, it kind of breaks and stars for facilities don't go up, and BB doesn't get happy as fast. Or do you think that it's by design? Some players are saying it might be a memory leak. I think it's more by design, because if you're constantly out in the road, then it like puts more wear on you. I've noticed stuff like that as well. I think it's by design.
I felt
you didn't play so much. How much of it did you play?
So easily 10 to 15 hours.
Yeah,
easily.
yeah.
I mean, I got to the second zone.
Yeah.
And in fact, almost immediately from there, where you're like in that next area, is where I stopped, because there was some really clunky NPC stuff, and I was just like, this doesn't feel like a real world to me. This feels like a phoned in. We just need to put something here. Which, as an example, because it was also much closer to a replay of The Witcher 3, almost all of that is so perfect. At every point, it feels like a real world. And so, I was playing this, RPG type game, and came up against something kind of phoned in, soulless. I mean, I know you love the game. Just for me, I was just like, this doesn't feel right. And I wasn't loving it anyway. But I did notice that the longer I went, the harder I had to shake the frickin' baby.
I've noticed. I remember that quite vividly, actually. Like when you used to go out for longer treks, things would wear on you a lot harder, and it wouldn't be cured by the normal things like drinking a Monster Energy or something like that. It was it was something you had to worry about.
Yeah. So I mean, based on that, I mean, I was going to say it sounds like it's a feature, but if it's just crappy coding, then we would all experience that as well, wouldn't we?
Would.
I mean, I'll say, if it's a bug, it's a very lucky bug, because it actually adds to the ambience of the world, I think the point of that game is that, like, the world is not really a place you want to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess.
What the next thing he says here is, P.S. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick. Something that happened pretty much right after we cancelled last week's episode. Lance Reddick, the actor, the voice actor, Zavala himself from Destiny, passed away.
Yeah.
Completely sudden. No idea of what was happened there. No one said anything like nefarious has happened. However, the Destiny community is so like loving and loves him so much. They like set up a bunch of people
Vigils,
went to his created vigils in the game by his character, and someone figured out that based on his activity on PlayStation Network, he was playing Destiny the day before he died.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is like, this guy was a proper, like, he was in the community. He really loved the game, and he really loved being Zavala. Makes it so much more worse. Just like, oh, how tragic it is.
I always got the impression that he's a good actor, so you wouldn't know, but that he got into everything he was doing, right? Like, I don't think he just took a role and did fricking Horizon. You know, I feel like the dude played the game.
Yeah.
The dude, you know, he like got involved in the story. What's crazy is like 2 days before he put up a video and he seemed fine. And I'm not talking like, oh, Chadwick Boseman, no one knew, right? Like, guy was losing weight, but maybe he's losing weight. It's Hollywood, you know. There are kind of some signs, kind of, and especially now that you know, looking back, you can be like, oh,
hindsight's 20.
yeah. But with Lance Reddick, you're just like this guy. I mean, in fairness as well, like he was 60, or, I thought it was 62.
I think he was 60.
He's 60 or above, and he's one of those like black don't crack. If he'd have said he was 45, it would have been like, damn, man looks pretty good for 45.
Honestly, and the way he spoke and the way he acted didn't seem like he was an old man at all.
No, not at all. So he seemed to be in very, very, very good health 2 days prior on video. The day before he was playing Destiny. Yeah. That's not a deathbed kind of activity. So
one last raid, guys.
Right. So here's my question to you.
Go ahead.
And to the gamers, like I genuinely want to know, only in the comments of the video though. So, because they're doing this for Darth Vader. You know, they've got James Earl Jones like permission and voice so that when he goes and he's no longer voicing Vader, that they can continue to voice Vader with him. How would you feel if they had enough data and like, you know, mocap and ADR stuff to keep him in the game? Me, I say it's done. I say at most you use that to have the character be killed. Right? And find a way to make that impactful and say goodbye to them. But I don't feel comfortable. I think Vader's slightly different. But like for this, for example, if they were like Destiny 3 and Lance Reddick's in it, I'd be like, no, that's not respectful. That's not going to work for me.
The only thing that I would
how do you?
The only thing that I would accept is if they did, because Nathan Fillion didn't die. But Nathan Fillion's character in Destiny, Cade 6, did die.
Yeah.
And they did it in such a beautiful way.
Yes.
Such a great fucking story, the way he ended, the way he went.
I've seen the clip. Yeah.
Added so much, humanized him so much, even though he's a robot. Now, if they could do something like that and make us cry for him one last time, I'd take it. But I don't, but not like, okay, the sequel's here. Oh, we're making another game, and we've got Lance Reddick in an AI bottle,
right?
And we're reanimating him for your entertainment purposes. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir.
Right.
Let the man rest. Let his memory rest. Do not defile him any further.
Yeah, I just sort of feel like.
But if it was to be like, oh, he suddenly goes missing or something like that. And then maybe they generate an AI story or something like that where he fought to the last moment that he could, and he actually implanted the last thing that will help you defeat the final boss.
Yeah.
And it's heroic, and he leaves a message to love for the Guardians or whatever it might be. I'll take it.
Yeah, that's the way I would do that. Sorry. I speak for a living, and now my voice is wrecked.
And all that cock you gangle.
Of course, it's the penis. Yeah, again, not the Conbros podcast. I'm very much of the opinion that you don't just keep going. You don't just keep him in the game. And at most, you do what you said, right? You do the, other NPCs come in and tell you, so-and-so was off doing a thing, and now he's gone. Like, you need to find him, and then you maybe find some footage a la like Anakin in the Order 66, but it's actually heroic, you know, it's the opposite. Yeah. Where, like, he fights to the last man for, like, the super raid boss. And maybe he nearly gets it, and you're like, damn, he nearly killed that thing. And then you go and fight it, and you're like, god damn, he nearly killed this thing?
Yeah. You know? Make him seem like a proper hero.
Yeah. But no, if Bungie was like, we've got all of the next stuff recorded and enough to keep him going, like, forever, I'd be like, no. You should actually rewrite the game. I don't care what it costs. The guy is, like, iconic for your game, outside of the game as well. I mean, the guys are freaking everybody. If you didn't know his name, you knew him. You know, you knew his voice, you knew his face.
if you people would be like, oh, they see John Wick, they're like, oh, that guy,
Right.
he was so cool, and it's like, yeah,
Oh man, Keanu had a. Did you see that?
I watched the little clip,
Yeah.
and I was like, he's holding it together. He's holding it together. Oh no, okay, broke him.
Yeah.
Right at the end, it broke him. It was like, ah, shit.
Yeah. Keanu just strikes me as one of those guys where like, it's not like, oh yeah, a guy that at the office is no longer in the office. Like, no, my friend passed away.
Yeah.
Which also makes me wonder, how much time did Lance Reddick spend on those sets? Because he doesn't have much time in the film, but I don't get the impression that he wasn't there for 2 days. I get the impression that he was there
Hanging
hanging
right?
out. Because
Just
he seems like that kind of guy, right?
Just chatting with Keanu Reeves about motorbikes or whatever it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
Keanu, have you played Destiny? Do you want to join me in a raid sometime?
Yeah. I get that impression, you know?
Yeah.
So, bad news.
God,
It really sucks.
I'm really going to miss him. And then right after that, who was it that had blood cancer now?
Oh, God, yeah.
The guy who from Jurassic Park.
The doctor from Jurassic
The
Park.
doctor from Jurassic Park apparently has been diagnosed with blood cancer.
Yeah.
Happened like 24 hours later. We're like, Hollywood, stop! Stop!
Please! Please!
We can't take it anymore.
It's like my childhood and all my favourite games.
God, it's awful.
Yeah, that does suck. I would be curious to know, because, look, I'm not saying that it's the wrong opinion. If you're like, no, if they had enough to keep him going, they should keep him in the game. It's not the way I would do it. But if you, if you can make a case for it, I want to hear it. Again, only in the comment section of the YouTube video. Hit the like button on your way down there. Because if you don't hit the like button, the comment doesn't count.
And if you don't share this on your Facebook, Twitter, you send it to your grandma and stuff like that. Doesn't
Right.
matter.
But genuinely, if you're one of those people that's like, no, if you got the stuff, keep it going, just like they're doing with James Earl Jones and Vader. Because I don't think it's the same, but I am arguing for it for James Earl Jones. So, and there's no separating James Earl Jones from Darth Vader. My Darth Vader's black. I'm just saying, despite the fact that Anakin Skywalker's a white kid.
I don't even see color.
Oh yeah. So if I light up a lightsaber, you won't care if it turns out as red.
Do you know what? I retract my statement. Actually, I
only see color.
I just don't see white. That's the thing. It's like my sauces. I don't eat any white sauces. I'm very progressive like that.
That's right.
All my sauces are brown. That's why. I said that one time at a table. I was like, I don't like mayonnaise. Why do I like mayonnaise? It's like, it's because it's white. And I was like, I'm very progressive like that. And I slayed myself. I was laughing at my own joke for like 2 minutes.
I hate how sometimes your mouth can run faster than your brain. And you're like, damn, that was freaking hilarious. I'm funny as fuck.
Funny as hell.
Well done, me. That was great.
Oh, God. Okay. Alan Wake, BS Pro 1, writes in and he says, Star Trek Resurgence has releases next month.
Oh, my God.
But still no date.
For those of you that aren't aware, Star Trek Resurgence just didn't release. They delayed the game. They just didn't tell anyone about it. They just didn't release the game. They had a release date and just missed it.
It was one of those things like, when you think you've sent a text.
Yeah,
you just didn't. It's one of them.
100%.
They thought they did it and they were like, I swear we told you guys.
Why is no one buying our freaking game? Oh, we didn't release it. Wait, we forgot to release the game? Tell them we delayed it.
Yeah.
I do hope that game's good just for alpha, to be honest.
Yeah, just so you get something out of it. Adam writes in and he says, hey guys, I bought the main Doom games on sale, so I'll be playing through all of them. That's fucking great. Really good stuff, man. So this week, I've been playing some Doom 1993. This week...
I gotta say, those old games... Those old games, obviously like 1993, that's really old. But they hold up surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Even those like crappy, like when you think old Doom of the like like Wreck-It Ralph style animations, like they're actually still good fun.
Yeah. And I must say it's aged much better than I expected.
Oh, there you go. Let me pull up Discord so I don't.
This made me wonder, what are some of the old games you think have aged well?
Doom.
and are still great today. Doom. Next question.
Straight up. Mario Kart 64 still bangs.
Yeah.
Still bangs. That's not like GoldenEye. Which I'll tell you what, if GoldenEye would run on like a DualSense, I think it would probably have held up. That's a lie. It was
It was we looked
in my
at
head.
It
It looked like the movie.
Yeah.
In my head, it looked like the movie, and then when we went, like in my head, I remember what Mario Kart looks like, and it does. It looks more pixely, right? It looks like it looks.
The only thing that held up in that thing is the pause menu music.
Seen that TikTok? The guy comes in, and is like, "Hey, we need some music, some pause music, but it's for a game of a movie. It's on the N64. It doesn't have to go too hard." The guy in the sound booth.
How about this?
And the guy does like, this bugs.
No right being that good.
It had no right being that good. So maybe not GoldenEye. Mario Kart for sure still holds up. Pokemon Blue and Red.
I'm very sensitive to this stuff. As you know, like when a game doesn't look good or it look passable, I really turn off to it. It makes me less of a seasoned gamer or something like that. But it's just
I don't agree.
It's just how my brain works. I don't agree with that
idea. If things move on, that's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to love something that looks dated.
No one would be happy buying a 1995 Golf brand new today at brand new prices. No one.
Yeah,
so give it a rest.
I was going to say, there are some games that still hold up quite well. Like, I keep going back to the Order 1886.
Gorgeous looking game.
How did that game still look so gorgeous running on base PS4 hardware?
It's stunning
Blows me
to
away.
Look at, yeah.
Blows me away.
Stunning to look at. Trash game, but...
Hey, wait. Had problems.
And also, I would say, he went Doom 1993. So when was the Order 1886? That's like 2015? 14?
Wait, no, 1886 is in the title.
Oh, shit, that's a good point.
2014, 13, something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's actually 10 years. Shit.
Listen, 10 years is nothing. Sony told us 10 years is nothing, okay?
It's true. Microsoft, they said, look, 10 years is plenty of time.
Microsoft said 10 years is so long. Oh, God.
I definitely think Mario Kart 64 100% holds up. Pokemon Red and Blue hold up.
Oh, I'm thinking about Pokemon Stadium right now, and that in my mind looks
Snap.
still good.
You telling me Snap?
Ooh, Snap! Yeah. Man, I need to play Pokemon Snap again.
World of Warcraft's like 2006, 2007.
And that's still garbage.
Still garbage. Halo 3. Halo 3 100%.
Garbage, yeah.
Halo 3 even in the OG graphics holds up. Have you freaking finished Halo? You're a piece of shit. I don't want to freaking talk to you ever again. You can't talk. You're on a gaming podcast. That's Genesis.
I'm going to be going into virtual reality. Hold on a second.
This freaking guy. What else? What are the games that are old that like actually do hold up? I still think The Last of Us.
The first one still would hold up.
Yeah, 2013. Look, is it anything like The Last of Us Part 1? No. That's a 10-year younger game, newer game. It's much better. But like, it's still a good-looking game. It's still okay.
Like I said as well, like I keep telling people, my gaming expertise has risen quite fast.
Yeah.
In the more recent times, like up until like early PS4.
Yeah, we were COD guys.
COD guys, and that was the only thing worth playing in our minds. But then we started to go like, do you know what? There are better games out there.
Yeah,
and then slowly we started to pick them up. When we saw story was the better way, it was like a light switch. And then we're like, all right, it's story games all the way, guys.
I feel like I went really hard story and then really hard on COD. And then I've gone really hard back to story. But I'm definitely with you. You've got to have, I'm sure you've got like a surprise Black Ops.
Ooh.
Still holds up. Nazi zombies on Black Ops 1. That still holds up. I'm sure there's other stuff. What else? I'm sure there are games.
Packer punch, not any other word punch.
That's right.
That I always used to say.
Yes, you do.
Not knowing what I was actually bloody saying.
The thing is, the best bit, by the way, is that at least 2 out of 4 people playing were Asian.
Exactly.
And also, they never picked up on it. They never like, bro, why are you saying it like that?
It's like when you know the Chinese word for
Yes, I do know the word you mean.
It's like going to China and hearing that and no one's saying anything.
And it was like, come on, make up your mind.
Dude, you're just saying this very ordinary word. If you know what we mean in the comment section, just say, I know what you meant. I know what you meant.
Spider-Man, the PS2. Is it PS2?
Oh,
PS1?
the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man. That, I reckon, still holds up.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
100%.
Crazy Taxi.
That 100% holds up. I was going to say Vice City. Holds up in my head. I have seen what it looks like recently, and it is not good. Not good at all.
Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on. He also does say, I love my games.
Also, I want to hear what your guys like games that still hold up ones are.
Tailgate wrote in, says, my backlog is a terrible mess. I have several games I plan on playing through, but I keep getting distracted. Thank God you're saying it, because this happened with me. Hogwarts Legacy, for example.
I have not put much more time on that. I just haven't had the chance.
I was going hard on it. Every day I'm on it, putting like 3-4 hours into it. I was like, yes, I've got all my free time. I can do this. And then PSVR came out, and I was just like, cool. So I'm building cities now. That's all I'm doing. And what's really funny is someone came up with the stat to show like, only 27% of people who bought Hogwarts Legacy beat it. It's almost like it wasn't because you wanted to play a fun Harry Potter, a fun wizard game, but you actually wanted to put it to the trans community. It's like,
I only bought the game for the transgenocide.
That was the only reason. Yeah. I didn't have any other any other feelings whatsoever.
Right.
No, it's just people have other things to do in life.
People have lives. Also, I mean,
it's a very big game as well. Like, you're easily distracted.
This might be a hot take. I don't think you need to finish that game to play it properly.
Oh, really?
I
haven't played enough of it to tell you yes or no.
Me neither. But I get the impression that game, played properly, is about you exploring the game and having fun with magic. It is not about beating the story. Story actually is not particularly good.
I've seen people have some strong reactions to it.
I am not very far into the actual main story. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise. There's a lot of side stuff, so surprise that you got distracted.
I could easily see someone being like, I put 30, 40 hours into that game and never met the Greybeard sort of thing. Yeah. Right? And I'd be like, great. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. Apparently there's a main story that's really good. Like, I don't think that's a game you have to beat to play it properly, if that makes sense. It's just... There's something about it that's different. So, like, Cyberpunk, it's not the same. Like, the only things to do are the missions. But Harry Potter, I spent, like, probably 2-3 hours just running around Hogwarts. Just running around Hogwarts. Just running around Hogwarts. Just not doing anything. Seeing what was there and getting lost on, like, the building with, like, it's like, you've got, like, the Defense Against the Dark Arts, the Charms classes. Yeah. And at the top is the, what's the fortune teller bitch?
The fortune teller bitch.
What's that? Divination. Is the classrooms?
Is that new teacher that comes to Hogwarts?
I think it's the African teacher.
Yeah.
The daughter, who's your friend.
Yeah.
She teaches divinations. Yeah, but the building where you've got the charms, Defense Against Dark Arts, something about that middle staircase and then being all those different stairs. They don't move. I just get lost all the freaking time. So, but like, just seeing that, you go up this way and there's a freaking bridge and you can go across there and I get fricked. You just wanted to put it to the trans community. No, people get busy, man. Like, go away.
Just let people play their games they want, man.
Right. Totally agree.
And Tailgate continues. He goes, anyways, the games I'm currently playing are Sinking City, a Lovecraftian detective game set in the 1920s. Ooh. Okay. That sounds interesting. By the studio who made those Sherlock Holmes games. Oh, that's unfortunate. And is now also making a Sherlock Holmes game with the Lovecraftian elements in it called Sherlock Holmes: The Awakening. It looks pretty cool. Okay, all right. By the way, I was only joking about the Sherlock Holmes thing being... I think it's quite fun. I'm also playing Hogwarts Legacy and going and go through my Dragon Age Inquisition playthrough. The next games I'm planning to play on my backlog are the 3 mainline Darksiders games, mostly because they're really similar vibes to the latter Legacy of Kain games, and Soul Reaver 2 and Legacy of Kain Defiance. Have a good day, bros.
Big shout, Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver games. God, I want them to be remade so badly. They're so good. They're so good. The story's so deep. There's a bunch of time paradox shit in it.
I've never played them. I don't know anything about them.
You'd hate it looking at it now. I mean, no, I think you'd enjoy the game if it was remade. There is no shot you're playing this game the way it looks. It does not look like it looks in my head.
Right.
But the story was fantastic. The voice acting was fantastic. The story writing was incredible. The world building was good. Like, it was just sick.
Why do I feel like there was a rumor of Legacy Kain being remade?
Because I told you that the dev house, which his name I forget, that has the IP, put out a thing saying, would anybody be interested? And I told my brother and a few mates about it, and we all filled in the their survey about what would you do, to the point where I was like saying, I will help on this. They were like, what's your feedback? And I was like, don't make it open world just to make it open world. That's like a problem. And here's a bunch of games that did that and they didn't go well. Please take that note. Like, if you have an open world game, that's fine. Here's where it works, but don't just make it open world to get that in the title, to get the sales pitch. It's the wrong way to go. Only do this, focus on the story. And if you need help with the story, I'm available. I'll help. I don't even want to be paid. I want to be involved in the project. I actually put that in my notes. I'm like, I want to be involved. I'll help. I can help you.
Well, if it comes around to it and you do get involved in it, let me know.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask for money.
I'll leech off of your frame, like the sidemen from KSI.
That's the one. That's the one.
Speaking of backlogs as well, I've already foreseen on another bunch of games that are going to come out. For example, Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC comes out on the 19th, which is 2 days after I go to America. And then by the time I get back, that's like 3 days away from when Jedi Survivors comes out.
Yeah.
So 2 things back to back that I really, really want to play. And
you're back to work.
Exactly.
Or
I'm listening.
I mean, you're traveling across the planet, right? So you're going to reasonably need to take at least a day off work, minimum, for jet lag.
It's true.
Especially, with what you use, there's health and safety concerns. Like, you have a legal obligation to ensure all your work is up to standard.
I'm handling heavy machinery. I'm handling gas.
Combustible products, poisonous products.
Flames. And other people's lives are in my hand.
And I do also think at least one full day and you could finish the DLC.
I wouldn't feel comfortable going back to work having those people. So yes, I mean no.
Oh yeah, no.
Having those people's lives in my hands.
Yeah. Because you'd be tired,
ethically
distracted, thinking about Horizon.
Ethically, I can't do it, guys. Ethically, I can't do it. Okay,
it makes sense to me.
And if Isla needs food, then I'm sorry.
Sounds like an Isla problem to me.
Exactly. Gamsmaster writes in. He says, "G'day, bro.
G'day.
Holy shit! The Last of Us show was amazing.
If you say so."
We haven't finished it yet. I'm at episode 8 now. So episode 8 and 9 is the last 2. So I'm close.
I haven't started episode 3. I feel so bad.
Go.
Oh, no.
Played out well, especially the David episode.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was my favourite one as well.
Bella Ramsey played Ellie so fucking well. She doesn't deserve the hate she's gotten. She's gotten hate.
I mean,
every character gets hate when it's a different thing to what they wanted in first place.
She got a lot of hate at the beginning because she didn't look like Ellie. Do you remember this?
How are we going to...
Like,
you do know they made her in a computer, right?
Well, also, they changed Ellie because originally she looked like Ellen Page. Ellen.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call...
It's Elliot now, isn't it?
Yeah, but then...
Oh, it's true.
He was Ellen. Do you know...
I don't know.
The original Ellie looked like somebody famous, but wasn't intended to.
Yes.
And then they rechanged that in the update to make Ellie look more like Ashley Johnson. So basically people just complaining that she doesn't look like Ellie. But first of all, she's a human being. And technically, Pedro Pascal doesn't look like Joel. What he does is he feels like Joel.
Yeah.
So you forget that he doesn't look right because he feels right.
So you got to get as close as possible, but the acting is the main thing.
Right, exactly.
And then hopefully they all just blend together.
Right. Whereas
obviously don't make it distracting, but
yeah, I mean, I've only seen 2 episodes, and I thought Bella Ramsey did a fantastic job as Ellie. And I also said before any of it came out, I said, we know for a fact Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal can act out of their skin. You know, they can act so incredibly well, so that if they are shit, you know for a fact it is bad writing and or bad direction, not their talent. And I don't think there'll be any problems with either of them. And I know people were like, Joel's not Hispanic. Well, first of all, it's not like Pedro Pascal comes out with like a sombrero and a poncho, you know? And also, he's a Texas construction worker. There's probably a good chance he was somewhat Hispanic. That's to go on stereotypes, you know?
Yes.
So, like, fuck off. They're fantastic. From the 2 episodes that I've seen, obviously I'm no longer watching because I'm a bigot.
You can't watch the 3rd episode. It's just all that gay, all that. Can't have it.
You're doing it wrong.
Is that not how they? Well, I'm not. I prefer to the.
That's not how you butter a bagel, bruv.
The show was so good. I needed to go buy part 1 and 2 for the PS5.
Have you not played it?
I think he bought part 1 for the PS5, but 2 he says as well. So have you not played 2?
Mate, you're gonna absolutely love it because if you've loved Joel throughout the show and throughout part 1, like
you will love him in 2. Yeah, exactly.
He's so good in 2.
For the PS5 for another playthrough.
That's also true. He's brilliant in 2.
Last of Us Part 2 players hearing that Season 2's been renewed, it's like...
You know that GIF with the dog? And it starts doing the choppers and stuff from Korea or Vietnam or whatever. Like, yeah. Where's this combo? I don't see him.
You haven't seen the True Gamer channel?
No. Maybe because I blocked his ass.
Maybe.
No, that's not true. It's a lie.
It was great watching
I
it with
found
my
him.
girl. Yeah, it was great watching it with my girl. Played the game, so she's so scared for Season 2, especially since I told her that Season 1 was fun, happy-go-lucky adventure season.
That was the fun one.
This was the fun one, all right. In other news, I almost finished my Star Wars sleeve, and I only got 1 more session to go to finish off my back. I want to see your back because this tattoo is fucking sick.
We'll put it up on screen.
Yeah, guys.
He's shared it.
You need to also check it out.
I mean,
if you want to
first
go see it
of
on the
all,
Discord channel.
he's got the iconic scenes, right? He's got Anakin. It looks like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but Anakin and Obi-Wan. It looks like on Mustafa. R2, Ahsoka, and Kylo. And they fit together so well.
This is what I'm thinking. So I was.
Is that Kylo or is that Revan?
No, it's Kylo.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting a tattoo myself, right? But I was thinking
A tattoo of yourself.
A tattoo of myself. It's going to be
just your nonce face.
Of my face on my face. It's like pressing the bold button in Microsoft Word.
Perfect.
I was thinking about getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
And I started off thinking about a God of War one. And then I thought multiple different shots from like God of War maybe and blended together. But I thought that might be a bit too much. And I thought maybe I'd get different gaming things that I like. And in this sort of style, it was funny that he posted this. I was thinking about doing like the first one, maybe like a Kratos type pose or something like that. The next one would be like a Geralt Rivia or something like that. And then wherever it is, Joel or something like that. Anyway, I really like this format, and it's given me lots of ideas. And, however, I did look at how much it cost.
I was going to say, that's not going to be cheap.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you made money on the gimbal.
True, I made money.
So, you know.
And all of you guys who are going to benefit from this money that I've made by seeing Galaxy's Edge and stuff like that. Come on.
Yeah. Also, Games Master, how much time in the chair do you have for this arm?
Yeah, this
sleeve.
This is a good artist as well. It's very like faces are very.
I bet this artist does not come cheap. Also, and I don't know this for a fact, but I do suspect that being able to get that much depth in just black and white is probably more difficult than color. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know anything about art or tattoo art, but It's a freaking sick tap.
Did great, man. Did great. And that's everything, guys. All right. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of the True Gamer Podcast. Join us next week for another episode. We are going to be trying to catch up to our schedule because we missed 1 week. And I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you all for the support and everything that you guys do. Bro, thank you for coming here. Yeah. Just after such a long day of work and shit like that. It was,
my manager scheduled an hour-long meeting at 4 p.m. on a Friday. And it went the full hour. And he did it last week as well.
Do you know what? The contrast between...
I like him as well. I'm giving him shit, but like...
The contrast between like your work and like the work that my girl does.
Yeah.
The office environment for my girlfriend is stupid. And they always buying stuff for the office and they get to go in wherever the fuck they want.
A little bit of me does want to like learn to code or something. Because I'll say the... I joined like a big corporation. Like actually... It's like a £2 billion up multinational sort of deal.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's all right. It's being in the corporate world or whatever. It's good fun. I've like done business deals and all that crap, right? I can make it sound fancy. But I definitely like the way that her office runs versus the way...
It's much better.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also ironic that people like go... I've mentioned, I did a bit of plumbing and handy type stuff before, and they're like, "Oh, you must like really like being in the office." And I'm like, actually, dealing with toilets is not as bad as you might think.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I'd never take any more macerator jobs, but like, I actually don't mind that either. So, I
like what I'm doing. I'll tell you something funny that happened.
Go on.
Me and my brother took a job where we're demolishing the inside and redoing a bakery. It's like an old bakery, and it was really interesting to see the type of machinery and stuff they have there and some of the ovens and things like that. But we're just like clearing stuff out.
Yeah.
And there was one place clearly where the cash register used to be, but there was clearly like where bread used to be kept nearby. And there's like tons of crumbs and whatnot. And then just as I'm clearing everything out, just a shit ton of coins that they've all just dropped in there. And I'm talking like pound coins, £2 coins.
Like went down the side of the register sort of thing.
Like went out from the register and landed in this bit where normally crumbs collect, and they just never emptied it out. And I was just like, sweet! Yeah, definitely, straight away in the pocket. And I'm like, cool, lunch is on me, don't worry about it, we have our lunches. And I'm like,
listen. If the money was that important to them, they would have cleaned it up. Secondly, I happen to know like your general pricing, and these guys got a very good price, even at you and your brother's prices, got a very good price on very good work done quickly, like, so
I knocked that whole place out in a day. I was like, this whole place is demoed today.
Do you know what's really frustrating is some of those jobs
a drill and a hammer, that's all I needed.
I was gonna say, if you have like what's your big thing called? The Titan.
Yeah.
Like
Titan, like breaker.
You get a breaker, you could take tiles off a wall. You have to do it by hand though, it's a nightmare. It's one of those things that like some jobs where you're like, this is gonna take forever, and you knock out in a day. And then some jobs where you're like 2-minute job, 10-minute job at most, and like you don't have the thing, you gotta go to the merchants, you come back, it's not right, go back. The part doesn't fit, you come back. What was that fence? Do you remember I was with you that day and we had to fix a fence, and it was supposed to be a really easy job, but then the post was rotted and we pulled it out of the hole, and the rest of the wood was stuck, wedged, like, because it had expanded.
Have to dig that out as well.
With like screwdrivers, because you're just pulling a fence post out. You're not coming with like
excavator equipment,
like fence post diggers and stuff. That's something I don't miss. It's like an easy job taking your full day.
Yeah.
That usually doesn't happen. So, but I do, a little bit of me is like, maybe I should just learn to code and then go to one of these places that is just like, oh yeah, you need AC for your maternity leave? Sure, take 2.
Sure.
And we'll never ask them again because we moved office. Did they even move office?
Yeah,
did I make that up? Oh, yeah. They just got lost in the move, I guess.
They're just like, oh, what's going to happen here? To end this...
I'm a little bit worried, actually, thinking about it. That thing, what's it set to?
Like 17. And it's not 17 in here. It's way hotter. To end this podcast, I'm going to end you with some God of War lines that you can use in bed. And I want you guys to leave your favourite ones as well.
boy.
Just a couple. Oh no, 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 no! You're back to your whiskies, aren't you? Well, that's a fine mess.
Oh, no.
So that's it then. I thought you'd be bigger.
Okay.
What's it? We this one here. Keep your expectations low, and you'll never be disappointed. It's a good one.
That is a good one to lead out with for sure.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
No.
Freya saying that to you.
No.
I wish Mum was here. And that's the end of the podcast, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you all next week. Chef's just gone. He's done. He's gone. He's actually left. Oh, God.